but when you can do something like this, hats off to you guys, man. This kicks ass.
Yeah, we love brewing Gandalf, which is our house pilsner, and this is sort of like similar base malt profile, and we just wanted to kind of mess with the hops a little bit more and the water profile to make something that's a little bit more approachable. It's a little less bitterness, and I think we hit the mark on it. We're really happy with it.
Absolutely. And what do you guys have? What do you have planned for the rest of the year? In terms of beer releases, just kind of expansion. Just anything you want to share with us?
Yeah. So I mean, ironically, during COVID, if you could see in the back, we were able to expand our cellar. We got 2 new 20-barrel tanks in.
Nice.
We've been canning so much beer now that we just had to be able to double batch brew more often and get it out in the market. A lot of stores in Long Beach, but mostly we've been getting a lot of LA County and Orange County accounts now. So the beer is starting to spread more in the Southland, which is cool. We're getting, a little bit more of a reach than we had before when we were only draft. So basically, I think moving forward, we are going to be hopefully opening next weekend. We're working with the new pizza restaurant next door that's reopening. The formerly Powwow is becoming Thunderbolt Pizza. Okay. And they're hopefully going to be our permanent food operator when we're allowed to reopen. So if everything balances out, there's a really good chance we'll be open on Saturday next week, but if not, the following Saturday. So that's going to bring us back into more drafts. So we're going to start being able to experiment with some more beers. So we have a couple new fruited sours coming out. We finally have our wine barrel aged Brett beers coming out. Hopefully by our anniversary, we'll have one release, but maybe even two. There's going to be a nectarine fruited one and then also a dry hopped grisette that we'll be putting out, all in bottle condition, clear 750s. So that's really fun. We finally get to put those out in the market. And then we have about 2 more bourbon barrel aged beers that are going to be released. One for Halloween on October 30th, right? That's going to be a bourbon barrel aged pastry stout. And then we'll also have a bourbon barrel aged tripel in late November. So there's definitely some fun barrel age releases kind of coming just in time for the fall. So that should be a lot of fun.
Perfect. And since we're on the topic of October, real quick, do you have a favorite horror movie that you want to share with us?
Horror movie? I mean, probably the Saws. All the Saws are amazing. The first 3, I think they're probably the best.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool. Can't go wrong with them.
Oh, yeah. We got some questions coming your way.
Sounds good.
All right. Who comes up with your beer names?
That's a group chat that never ends. So obviously, I think if people can see our trends, we have a weird obsession with Adam Sandler movies. Hence the name of Hike School. Today's beer is from Billy Madison. It's the little kid that can't pronounce high school when Billy goes. And then, we have really funny references, but I think it's just, we all love movies and we're all kind of weird and goofy. And we have a lot of just dumb references that we say all the time. And we have a catalog of probably at this point, 80 to 100 different names that we just go back and forth on. And we just find what fits. And it takes 4 of us to agree on it. And sometimes that goes on for 24 hours of 2,000 group text messages to finalize a name for a beer release. But we always get to the bottom of it. And it's always at the 11th hour too, which is hilarious.
Well, on the topic of Adam Sandler, what's your favorite movie of his?
I mean, probably The Wedding Singer, easily.
Oh yeah.
You can't go wrong with it.
Drew Barrymore. I mean, you can't, but yeah.
A classic. It's an all-time classic.
Absolutely.
I met Adam Sandler and I literally couldn't talk. He was a very nice man.
Yeah, he seemed like a very genuine person.
He was one of those good ones where you're like, oh, you're a nice celebrity, but then I couldn't talk about him.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, you don't completely suck.
Yeah.
Well, before we move on to the friends over at 10 Mile, do you have any collaborations you're thinking? Anything that you could share with us, or?
Yeah, I mean, we actually had about 4 different collaborations that had to get put on hold during the pandemic with a few breweries from out of state that were flying in. But upcoming, we've been talking with Brennan over at Burn and Daylight. We're probably going to work on something with them. Cool. We're going to be doing another collab with Long Beach Beer Lab as well.
Nice.
We're talking, they brewed one with us a while back ago, and we're going to probably go to their spot, and that'll end up being a full can release.
Very cool.
And then there's a couple other ones that haven't been finalized yet that might be in January and February, so I can't really say the names yet, but definitely some fun ones. I think now that we're getting into a more normalized routine, we're going to start doing a lot of the plans that we had earlier in the year, that had to get postponed. So there should be some fun stuff coming. We're looking forward to getting reopened now.
And you guys did win some fun awards. Care to share? It's always hard talking about the victories, but like, can you share some of the awards you guys have scored? They're hard to come by.
Yeah. So last year for GABF, we got bronze for Central Perk, which is our coffee blonde. It's kind of
amazing beer, by the way.
Thank you. It's a beer that I think is kind of true to our heart. It's what the brewery started with, and it's a beer. It's still our #1 seller every single day. We're constantly selling it in cans, crowlers, a lot of draft accounts, and that was really cool to get that in the first year of operation. We did not expect that at all to win that. And then it also got silver for the California Brewers Cup too, which that was really cool. So within like the same month, we got 2 awards for it. We were like, we couldn't believe it. It was one of the coolest.
Well deserved. To
be like, we're only open for 7 months, and we were able to get that for that beer. So we have some new entries this year for GABF. So we're looking forward to next Friday to see what the results are. So, we're hoping some of our fellow Long Beach breweries get some placement, because everyone's very well deserved in those.
Heck yeah.
Congrats.
Cool. Dennis, any?
Yeah. Looks like for the poll, looks like most people got the first question. That was the easy one. What LB business previously occupied ambitious sales since 1947?
Very infamous.
Title cameras. And then the second question seems to be pretty split. What is the most asked phone call question?
What was the answer to that?
I think it was, can we drink in the patio? According to Jerome.
I think that's the calls that Jerome takes the most.
But that one had 16 votes. Why don't you have a kitchen was also in there. You have sours.
Every call every day the last 6 months. Can I come in and have a beer?
Every day.
Yeah. You're like, not yet. Soon, hopefully.
And also, like a rookie, I forgot to hit record, and I came in like after you talked about the beer. So if you can real quick just mention the beer name and just a quick description, so people, when they come back to watch this, they have.
Totally. Yeah, so we're drinking Hike School today. It's our we call it a Citra Lager. So it's a dry hop Citra Lupo Max Lager. It's 5.5%. The malt is very light. It's kind of like nutty, honey, a little bread, graham cracker note. And the Citra gives you a lot of that grapefruit back in. Just very bold citrus note. And you get a little back end bitterness too from it. But it's still really soft and very, very crispy beer.
Awesome. Thanks, Garrett.
You're very welcome. Thank you guys for having us.
Buddy.
Good to see you.
Really
Enjoy Sunday.
Yeah. Cheers.
Cheers. All right, Dan and Jesse, I see you unmuted. There you go.
Oh, yeah.
We're here. Hey.
Hello. How you guys doing?
Hey, we're just hanging out here at the lake, so ready to have a beer with everybody.
Amen. Well, let's, by the way, before we get into a 10 mile, I'm sure people want to know, what is the inspiration behind the name? I know you've shared it with some of us in the past, but can you tell us more about, just where 10 mile comes from?
Yeah, so we've had a cabin up in the Sierras at a place called Hume Lake for 5 generations of my family. And over the years, it's become pretty popular. A lot of people from Fresno area come up. It's like the closest body of water where you can get up into the mountains. So we started not liking the crowd so much. So the main tributary to the lake there is called 10 Mile Creek. So that kind of became our family place where we'd pack all the kids up and take the lawn chairs and go find a waterfall and little swimming hole. And kids grew up, sliding down the rocks and playing in the water there. And it just became kind of our family place. So when we were deciding names, and you ask, it was from my parents to my grandkids now, what is something we all have in common? And 10 Mile was kind of the unanimous decision. So that's where it came from.
Very cool. I know you want to, we'll talk more. Love to, hear more about the beer, the inspiration between, the American half with apricots, just jump right on in and, share, good stuff about this beer.
Well, I'll tell you kind of the inspiration for it came from me, and then I kind of just transferred all that information to Jesse, and he's the one that kind of put it all together. And so we have an apricot tree out in our backyard. I really love apricots. It's just amazing going out there in about June when they all ripen up. They all come at once, so it's like 2 weeks of apricot madness where we're making apricot jam and apricot tarts and everything apricot. And so I really wanted to do an apricot beer, and it was just, we haven't done a whole lot of fruited beers. You could count them on one hand that we've done, probably count them on 2 fingers actually. But so we thought, you know, in past ranchos, we thought about the homebrew competition where everybody votes on everything. And it seems like every year it's some fruited beer that wins, you know, the popular favorite there. So I said, well, let's, you know, we do IPAs all the time, and we have 4 different IPAs on right now, and they're of course the most popular, but I just wanted to do something really different for this. So I said, let's do and people have been asking for a hef too, and we'd never really done that. So I said, well, let's just put it together. We're going to do a apricot hef. And so it was an interesting process. We used about how many?
It was like 300 pounds of apricot puree that we got through actually Oregon Fruit Products. They make like these aseptic purees that are just the best. Like it's some of the best stuff you'll find. And yeah, and then just a pretty traditional hef recipe: pills, wheat, a little bit of Hallertau, and then American hef yeast. And then, apricots went in at a high Krausen, dried out really nicely. Still has that like really prominent like apricot flavor and aromas, but it doesn't stay sweet at all. Just kind of one of my big thing is that like whenever I have a fruited beer that's like sweet, it always really puts me off. So I wanted to have that nice kind of dry, bright, nice high carb. Yeah,
it's really changed over the past couple of weeks. The tartness has kind of remained. In fact, initially in our first tasting, it was like, wow, it was bordering on sour with the tartness.
Yeah,
and that's kind of mellowed out a little bit. It's still prominent, but it used to be a lot more prominent on the nose. But still super happy with it. It's a great beer for being out on a hot day. Got that kind of refreshing note to it. And yeah, we're happy with it over. It's got a really nice orange, bright amber color to it. And unlike the name, it's not an amber, which everybody's saying, oh, they're going to think it's an amber. And it's like, well, it's really, the Amber Waves name comes from the after note you're getting on it, because you get that fruit right up front, but then it goes into this total graininess that sits on your tongue for a long time afterwards. And you can kind of just, I can still feel it from like a minute ago when I took a sip. So I really like that chewy, bready, biscuity kind of graininess that carries on through it.
Absolutely. And honestly, we've known you guys, consider you good friends, and every
Family.
family.
Yeah,
family,
I'm gonna
not take that back. But I gotta say, like every beer that you have put out, no BS. It's amazing. You guys make some of the best lagers in town. Your IPAs are world class, and it's a testament. I know, both you and the lovely lad next to you, love you, buddy. You guys have you were home brewers for a long time. I mean, and you could tell that you guys developed and perfected your craft. You really got into it. I know 10 Mile is a family affair, and I think that's, why you guys, are helping pave the road for a lot of breweries now, just based on who you are and the beers you make.
Well, thank you very much. We consider you guys family too, and it's always brings a smile to our face whenever you show up in the doorway.
So speaking of showing up in the doorway, what's your next step? What's your plan on opening? I know you guys were open. What are your hours?
Yeah, so we opened on Thursday, and we've been dealing with things a little bit differently because we're in Signal Hill and not in Long Beach. So while we're both in LA County, we're under a different health department than the rest of Long Beach. So we are dealing with the asinine request of having to have a reservation 1 day in advance, and which it's like they don't want us to succeed for some reason. It's like, who thinks I'm going to have a beer tomorrow afternoon at 3 o'clock? I think I'll make a reservation. And yeah, it's just stupid. But anyway, everybody came out on Thursday. We were booked solid, and everybody just loved being back. It was like a class reunion. You know, it's just all these old faces and going around and seeing everybody. I just loved it. Same thing Friday, Saturday. We both had really good nights. I don't know if you've seen it out in front though, but we put up a couple tents. We have AstroTurf, tables, put a big TV out. Lakers game's been on, football's on today. So it's feeling good, but we're all outdoors.
I was at the cemetery waving at you guys across the way.
Oh, yeah.
I was volunteering, and then I saw it, and I saw you had to have reservations, and I was like, I'm not going to push it the first day. So I was happy to see the tent there and see people out there. I've been really happy for you guys. I know it's been a long time. We do have a question from someone here, from Sarah. Not beer related, but is there fly fishing up there? And what beers, I guess it is, what beers do you prefer to drink while you are up there on the water? Speaking of
well, good question. There is definitely fishing up there. And as far as fly fishing, yes, definitely. There's great fishing, and I have a few special spots if you want to private message me. And we can talk about that. But yeah, I love, I don't have a float tube or anything, but I fly fish from the shore occasionally, and it's a lot of fun. Yeah. I think the biggest trout I pulled out of there is about 23 inches. So pretty good. Yeah.
And what plans for any, for the releases for the rest of the year? Do you have anything that you're, sitting on, some fun barrel age offerings, going to go, experiment in another direction, share with us.
Yeah, we've got a bunch of barrels that have been sitting there we're coming up on a year now. And one of the things that we're going to be bringing back around that has been gone for basically almost a year is the bourbon barrel aged barley wine, and which we named the barley.
For barley.
Yeah, the Czar of the Hill, our barrel aged Russian Imperial, is going to be coming back around, and then there are some kind of beers that we're throwing around in our heads. One actually you might be familiar with, and
what are you talking about?
Yeah, you didn't respond to me, by the way.
Martin not responding, that's like, no.
We'll be right back.
So
and I didn't finish my answer for Sarah. She had asked about what's my favorite beer. I'm a classic hophead. Give me an IPA, I'll drink it anytime. So that's my favorite one to have out on the lake. Now we can go back to the barrels.
Yeah.
Oh, and since you've been part of Long Beach for a long time, do you have any and it is October, we ask everybody this question, do you guys have any favorite scary, spooky movies, haunted experiences, all of the above?
I don't really have to go to the movies. I can just walk into Fourth Horseman. Typically, I get the maximum experience. But personally, I'm kind of a classic guy. I like Shining is probably one of my old favorites. I even go back to Hitchcock stuff. The birds and that kind of stuff. So I'm not like Texas Chainsaw Massacre guy. So it's like I don't know.
It's got to be. Manos, the Hands of Fate.
Oh, that is absolutely fine cinema right there.
You're the only one who probably knows what that is.
Oh, it's great. And if you get a chance, it's on, I think, Mystery Science Theater. I think episode on that. Oh my goodness. No, but yeah, we love you guys. Just keep kicking butt, and just happy for your success. And like I said, it's always a treat every time you guys release a new beer. So we appreciate you being part of the Long Beach beer community. So.
Love you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. Love you guys.
We have, I guess, the poll, right, Dennis? You have to tell us the answers to the poll.
Yeah, the poll. So what city did Dan first discover homebrewing in? Looks like most people are saying Lakewood, California.
Yeah,
That was the obvious decoy answer.
I didn't even put that one in, Dennis.
I know. I wanted to trick people. So can you tell them that the correct answer?
The correct answer is Bend, Oregon. And I was on a vacation up there, driving through town, stopped in to see an old high school buddy. And he was into home brewing, and we were camping outside of town. I said, and he says, "Oh, I'm going to come out and join you at your campsite, and I'm going to bring a couple growlers." It was like, okay, that's fine. We have our Henry Weinhardts and our Heineken, but if you want to bring something, that's fine. And we tried it around the fire there, and I always say, I don't know if it was like the river and the mountains in the background and the moon and the stars and everything, but it was just like this, oh my gosh, moment. It was amazing. And went back to his house the next day. He was, showing me all the hops and the chemistry, and I've always loved chemistry. And he gave me a recipe, brought it home, brewed it. It was successful. People loved it, which was encouraging to do more, and it just snowballed from there. And so Bend is a great craft beer town. I'm proud to say that's where I discovered it. And so that's the correct answer, Bend, Oregon.
All right. Number 2 was, what was the first beer that 10 Mile won an award for after going commercial? Looks like most people got this one correct. Want to go ahead and give the answer?
Yeah, it was the Kentucky Common. Yeah, Hidden Hollow.
You guys want to talk about that beer real quick? That's kind of a special
Yeah,
one.
that one's kind of quickly becoming synonymous with us. So the beer style is a Kentucky Common, which is a historical pre-Prohibition style beer. Looks really dark, but drinks really light. There's a lot of really interesting history behind it. In between like 1850 and 1890, it really was one of the most popular beers in America. Prohibition kind of came around and pretty much completely killed it. And with the upgrading of like modified malts and just getting better at those processes, the heirloom malt that was used, 6-row barley, just kind of no longer was a big player, and people were moving over to 2-row. Pilsner was coming in from overseas, and it was just they were giving a lot cleaner, a lot better flavors, but there's old notebooks and whatnot that we stumbled across through like page 10 of Google, which if you ever get that far, you've really dived into the rabbit hole. And so we kind of came across these, and it was actually for the Long Beach Homebrewers Club that it was a competition that you had to do a historical style. And so we were originally talking about doing like a cream ale, and we kind of stumbled across Kentucky Common, and it was like, oh my gosh, we've got to do this. And from that very first batch, I don't think we ever changed the recipe. It was so amazing that first time. And we had this great idea of, hey, let's open with a beer literally no one has ever heard of and see if it sells. And it does. I mean, it's in our top 5 bestsellers. And it's a beer that I personally love. It's my desert island beer. It's the last one I would ever drink. I wouldn't even think twice about it. And
contrary to popular belief, it has nothing to do with bourbon barrels. Everybody comes in, sees the Kentucky name, and it's like, oh, it's it's an aged beer, but no, it's actually a really quick turnaround beer. Yeah. So probably one of the quickest. But, yeah.
And then the third poll question is, what Long Beach brewery occupies a location that Dan used to work in? And I threw in a trick one in there too, and that's what most people picked. The trademark Dan used to build race cars at the body shop in there. And then there's Ambitious Ales. Dan used to run the darkroom at Tuttle Cameras in 1977 to 79, and then Steady Brewing. Dan used to work at Times Square Liquor in 1989. You want to go ahead and answer that one?
So I don't know what the most popular answer there was.
The most popular was the body shop one.
Okay. No, I worked at Tuttle Cameras actually from 77 to 79. And yeah,
Yeah.
that's,
Yeah.
that's actually, and you can see Tuttle cameras off my shoulder, my right shoulder, actually. But I wish I had that hair back.
Right.
But yeah, that was good days, and that was the beginning. I was a photographer for about 22 years after that, commercial photographer. So that was the beginning of my photography career.
Cool.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys. Thank you guys for coming on, and really appreciate you guys for coming on.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, guys. Have a good
Thanks, guys. Hope
enjoy
to
your
see you
Sunday.
soon.
Yep.
We'll see you. Thanks, everybody. I got a plate on my head.
All right, next, Allison, if you can turn on your, there you are. We have Allison back again today to just go over a few things and show you a little bit more of the Rancho.
All right, hi again, everyone.
Hi, Allison.
Hi, Allison.
Nice to see you all again. So my name is Allison, as Dennis said, and I am the executive director at Rancho Los Cerritos, the host site of Craft Beer LB Fest. I know we're in our 4th annual one, and it's exciting that Dennis and everyone was able to make it virtual this year. So thank you all to supporting local breweries and the Rancho Los Cerritos historic site. Just so you know, we are open Wednesday through Sunday, 1 to 5, and have extended hours on Saturdays from 9 to 5. And if you're coming to the site, you can also visit the local breweries and Brewery Knowles and take a stroll through our gardens. And even though in this COVID-19 global pandemic, we have continued to restore the historic adobe home, and we are looking to a brighter future when we will open new rooms that will bring in the diverse stories of Southern California for all of you to explore. And with your help, we are committed to ensuring that every room in the historic home will be 100% open in the future. And this work is being funded through our Open Doors campaign, and you can watch videos of the restoration progress on our website at rancholoscerritos.org. And of course, in addition to the restoration of the adobe home, we are also working to protect our historic gardens and outdoor spaces. And when you all come to visit in person, you will notice that we have a California native garden that has a dry stream bed. And why is that important? Because that stream bed was added in 1994 as one of our first projects to address environmental issues like erosion and replenishing the groundwater table. And this led us to create an ambitious project called Looking Back to Advance Forward. And the goal of this project is to create a cistern that captures and reuses 95% of the first rain flush that falls on our site. And this project will be the first of its kind on a historic site and will act as an educational tool for a whole community. You will be able to learn about water use in your own gardens, so we can all do our part to protect this important natural resource. The rancho is also green in other ways as we learn how to use water in our historic gardens. In March, thanks to our staff, we received a green business certification. So we are making sure that our entire site is as environmentally friendly as possible. Light bulbs are LED, thermostats are regulated, and paperwork has been made into digital projects so we can do away with unnecessary printing. And that also means you will never see styrofoam cups at Beer Fest, especially when it comes back next year. So our mission is about preservation, innovation, education, and stewardship. And that's what guides our work at Rancho Los Cerritos, so we remain relevant for years to come. So we thank you all for continuing to support Rancho Los Cerritos and also our local breweries. And we hope to see you in Bixby Knolls at the breweries and also at the site. And so with that, cheers to all. Another successful Beer Fest 2020. Thank you and welcome to the Rancho soon. Cheers.
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 Cheers. Thank you, Allison. Lori, I see you.
Hi, Lori.
Hi,
And
Lori.
you, should we bring on? You bring on
I love faces.
Lori, is it just you today, or is it Catherine as well?
Catherine should be here somewhere. She told me she was on at 1.
Got it.
Hello.
I love your costumes.
What costumes?
This is my normal outfit.
By the way,
All right,
congrats on the.
you're
new place.
spiraling.
Uh-oh. Somebody cutting out?
Thank you. Thank you. It opened Thursday for to go for the first time. Well, I guess it opened 2 weeks ago for a pop-up, and then again this weekend, and then it'll be back next weekend. We're still working through some stuff with the county health department.
It looks beautiful, by the way. Saw the photos. Can't wait to get out there. So, but yeah, Dennis logged off.
Thank
so
you.
we
Let me
each
know
other-
if you're going. We'll trip out together.
Exactly. No, Dennis logged off, so we'll just kind of jump in. Before we talk about the beer, do you want to just kind of give us a quick, recap of who you beautiful people are and the beautiful beer you make?
Sure. Absolutely. So, Smog City. I got my beer here too. My husband and I started Smog out of a brew pub in Orange County, and it took us about 1.5 years to find this location in Torrance. We've been here ever since. I'm actually here now. So, in the brewery, you can see our beer tender, Josh Stamps, over there pouring beer for our awesome people outside.
I know.
And yeah, we've spent the last. Yeah, you should let Kathy in. We've spent the last, I won't tell you how many years because it's part of my question, but the last less than decade, creating a whole variety of beers, everything from our light Pilsner, the Little Bow Pils, to our bourbon barrel-aged beers and our quirky, creative French fruited Saisons. We have a great barrel program, and then we've also, in the last year, launched into hazies for the first time. We really wanted to wait until we were kind of going to do them right, and Porter felt like he was ready to tackle it, and so we've started dropping these tasty IPAs ever since. So I'm excited for you guys to try it.
Hi, Kathy.
Am I supposed to crack it now? Your
Hi.
eyes all-
Yeah, let's pop it open. Let's drink it.
Mine's almost gone already.
Oh, hi.
Yummy.
Congratulations,
It's a
Kathy.
nice one.
I feel like I should say that to
Oh,
everybody.
yeah.
Kathy just
Oh,
got
thank
married.
you. Thank you,
Congrats,
guys.
Kathy.
COVID.
Yeah.
Kathy just got married.
Yeah, I got married. I eloped a couple Thursdays.
I told her I can.
But thank you guys.
I
Thank you.
told her I can finally stop calling her boyfriend her husband. Now he's actually her husband.
That's-
She always corrected me, and I was like, get over it. You guys are clearly married. So Weather Machine,
Yeah, tell us about the
Yeah,
beer.
tell
I'm
us about
excited
the
for you
beer.
guys to try this. It's really just such an easy drinker. Yeah, super tasty. Lots of gummy and candied lemon and hoppy. It's got Euconaut, Cryo with Euconaut, and then 2 other, Mosaic and Centennial. So it's got a nice sort of modern hop and more new age hops. It's got a great pillowy feel. It's got a good hazy character. Holds its haze, which is really beautiful. I always think it's interesting how hazy beers have taken off over the last 5 years, and I really believe one of them is just their Instagram quality. You know, you take a picture of it and it grabs the light from the inside and just radiates, so it always looks beautiful in pictures. And this one does a good job looking nice and beautiful and apricot-y and peachy looking. Lots of tropical flavors. Not a lot of bitterness in this guy. It's real light, refreshing. Has that great rounded hop nose, hop aromas. Good mouthfeel, but it doesn't have that sort of bracing bitterness that you get from a clear West Coast IPA. it's interesting how some people you go either way, right? Some people really like that bitterness, and others are really seeking out the softness and the aromatics. And I found over the last year that I really love the aromatics of the hazies. For me, the bitterness, I've never really been an IPA drinker. They're a little too bitter for me. They're a little too sharp, but I always love smelling them. And so it's almost like the hazy has fallen into that category perfectly. I don't drink a lot of them, but I do enjoy them, especially this one.
Absolutely.
It's really good.
So.
It's not, I don't feel like I'm gaining 10 pounds from drinking one beer, which some hazies you just get that heavy feeling from.
And every beer, you know, I know.
Yeah, that sweetness, that residual sweetness.
Yeah, Porter's been brewing for so many years, and I feel like every beer that you guys make are, you know, are on top of the category in terms of quality. You know, you guys would never put out anything mediocre. There's so many breweries from, you know, now versus what they were back in the day when we all started. And I feel like, you know, everything that you guys release, you actually put, you know, the time, energy, love, even, you know, the can labels, by the way. I'd love for you to talk about, you know, who designs your labels, because they're some of the most just iconic, cool, you know, noticeable labels on the market.
Yeah, that beer was a labor of love when we decided to launch it.
Thank you. For your first part, thank you for that.
Sorry, Lori, you're freezing up.
Uh-oh.
Absolutely. It's, you know, the beers that we make, and that I'm at the brewery. That's what happened.
Yeah, the Wi-Fi at the brewery.
Can you hear me okay? Sort of?
Yeah.
All right.
Kathy's
How
good.
about that?
Lori's frozen in
Is that-
time.
All right,
Is
Lori,
that
I'm
better?
gonna jump in and maybe your Wi-Fi will
The
catch
beauty
up
is
in a
frozen. You literally, it's like Medusa froze your beauty right there. Boom. Like just.
second.
But I'm back.
Yeah, so it was a labor of love when we came up with this beer last year. We really wanted to give the brewers a chance to play with hops and be creative and get those beers out to the market in, you know, a more widespread fashion besides these small batches that were draft only. And then, you know, enter pandemic now, you know, draft and or package is the way we have to reach our consumers. So a lot of time and effort to design this beer, playing off our brewery, our vibe, kind of that, you know, apocalyptic Amarillo Gorilla, you know, steampunk feel. And then switching between hazies and West Coast IPAs. We still as a brewery prefer West Coast IPAs, but also we're like, we can make a hazy and probably as good as everyone else. So there it is, a hazy in a can for everybody. And Porter, when he decides to do something, he wants to take his time and make sure he's doing it right. So we did jump on the hazy train a little bit late, but when we came out with them, we're like, bam, here it is. And, you know, bringing that balance that you get from all of the rest of our beers to this beer was important for that full drinkability experience. So.
And I have to ask, as, you know, two amazing veteran women of the craft beer industry, hard ciders. What are your thoughts? Pop quiz.
Ciders? Are you asking about ciders or seltzers?
So sorry, seltzer. Sorry,
Where do we go? Where do we go?
Because I do love me a good cider.
I love good ciders too. So.
Lori, I'll let you. You're kind of unfrozen, so I think you're good. So I'll let you take that one first. All right.
I'm afraid to speak because I might get frozen again. Hard seltzers. I will channel my husband. We make beer. We really love beer. We love that beer is a living product, that it comes from an agricultural background, that it has hops and malt. Seltzer doesn't have anything organic in it whatsoever, except maybe some sugar. And that's probably highly processed. So it's not really my thing. I have not found one that I actually can drink. I'm not saying that it's not going to dominate our industry and take my shelf space, but I don't get really excited about it. If I'm going to get drunk, I'm going to drink some rum and Coke or tequila and something. You know, I'm not going to go for a hard seltzer.
Is it like 2000?
How about this? To get more excited, tell us about Smog.
I feel like I drank rum and Cokes when I was like 18.
Nice, right? But once you get
again, Lori, with the best face ever.
But Lori, you know what? As somebody who's in my 40s, I've gone back to rum and cokes now. It's amazing. You start when you're like underage, and then once you get, our wise age, you go back to the classics, right? Like Long Island iced tea all day. Give it to me, right? I mean, shit.
Do not go out with Martin.
I'm
You drink Rumplemints. Just
I was
like
like, he drinks Rumplemints and Jaeger doesn't he?
not Jaeger, but Rumplemints. Yes,
Hey.
yes.
But tell us about the recent expansion at Smog. What where your tap rooms are, like kind of what you've got planned. Upcoming releases. Just
COVID hours.
COVID hours. Yeah.
All right, where do we start? We have 4 locations. So I'm unstable, right? I can see it?
Yes.
Okay, you guys put your fingers up if you can't actually hear me, because you guys are totally fine. I just keep getting messed up. This is what we live with, by the way, at the brewery for the last 1 million years, is that our Wi-Fi is horrible. So we can't fix it. So at Smog, we are open Thursday through Sunday for on-site dining. Those hours vary, so you need to check out our website. It's day to day. Today is 1 till 9 p.m. And Steelcraft is open 7 days a week for on-site dining. I was listening to 10 Mile talk about the difference between the county regulations and the city regulations for Long Beach. And luckily for us, we are able to be open now at Steelcraft for the last couple of months. So we are continuing to be open there. And then Smog City West in town, in Torrance here, is available for to-go only 7 days a week. And Glendora is currently on a pop-up only basis until we figure out the health inspections and what they think our tap room is there. There's a lot of confusion, and of course it's a very complicated scenario with the health emergencies, and so nobody really knows exactly what anything is, so it's taking a lot of education. But hopefully we're hoping for on-site by next week. Am I sounding okay? Because I want to go back to the art question. I'm super excited about talking about the art you were asking.
Yeah,
we have an incredible artist in Long Beach who is, he's a senior art director for Speedo. And he started working with us about, I want to say 5 years ago now. He was very, very good friends, co-Eagle Scout with our old lead brewer, Chris Wolowski. He introduced us to him. His name's Ryan Cochran. You can find him on Instagram at Ryan Cochran Art, I think. And he uses us as sort of as a creative outlet, because he's working in such a corporate industry, and he's really high up, and he's got a lot of stress. And so when we brought him on, we kind of let him just build off of his own inspirations, his own creative ideas. And sometimes they're I give very direct art direction. And sometimes we just let him go. Coffee Porter is a great example of literally just saying, this beer is called Coffee Porter. We have no plans for it. Come back with something. And he nailed it the first time. Amarillo Gorilla, on the other hand, I had a very, very specific idea of what the gorilla looked like, down to the fact that he had his head turned, his shoulder to you and looking at you, and the color of his eyes. I mean, I just knew exactly who he was. And so that one had a lot more direction. And then this one is interesting. If you guys remember, I want to say 2015, we had an anniversary party at the brewery, and we had artwork done, and it was a Smog City War machine. It was this beautiful line drawing machine, and we never used it for anything but that anniversary. And when we started creating this Smog Days series, I kept thinking, like, I want to create this weather machine, this like war-torn weather machine that could be generating lightning bolts or clouds or rain or sun. And we came back to that original weather machine and adapted it slightly so that it would have this sort of crispness to it, and this steampunk feel that a lot of our labels have. But I just think it's so cool. It's like such a fun feel. And I love that little hop, like right in the middle. It's clearly like generating the power that keeps this machine moving forward. So.
On your cans, it says 1% for the planet. Can you tell people what that means?
Yeah, so 2017, we signed up with an organization, national organization called 1% for the Planet. So we donate 1% of our gross sales for all cans and package sold out at distribution and all of the sales at our tap room here at Smog. The other tap rooms are actually carved out of our agreement so that we can continue to donate to community-based organizations. With 1%, it's very specific. You can only donate to environmental organizations vetted by the 1% partnership. So we focus as close as we can to our brewery on the communities that support us, on the environment that's surrounding us. So we've donated to the Palos Verdes Land Conservancy, the Bay Foundation, the Long Beach Aquarium, Marine Mammal Rescue, and the South Coast Botanic Gardens. And one of our largest partnerships is Food Forward. They're an organization up in North Hollywood. They rescue vegetables and fruits that would normally go to waste. The bulk of their rescuing happens at the downtown wholesalers market. And I believe they just hit 100 million pounds of rescued food that has been returned to food banks to help those in need in Los Angeles County. We're super proud to be partners with them. We're on our 6th year, and they're only 10 years, or this will be their 11th year. And as we've grown, both businesses have really grown together in a really organic and beautiful way. I respect what they do, and they're amazing people. So if you have fruit trees, go to foodforward.org and sign up those fruit trees. They'll come pick them for you.
Cool.
And maybe Lori will show up on Kumquat Day and pick them for you too.
If you have a kumquat tree, I'll come pick it. That's my favorite love. So I'll tell you something really cool. When you harvest citrus trees, like really laden citrus trees that have a lot of fruit on them, you have to climb to the topmost branches that you can reach, because as you harvest the fruit, the tree's limbs rise up and they'll actually grow by 2 to 4 feet in height. So you have to get to the top before the tree is too tall for you to actually be able to get that fruit down. And I just love that so much. I think as you pull the fruit off, you can almost feel the tree thanking you. It's really cool.
Cool. We're slowly wrapping up. I wanted a couple more questions. Fun beer releases that you have for the rest of the year, things you have planned for 2021. You know, if anything you can share with us, just, you know.
You want to rock that, Kathy?
So we will have at least one more Smog Days coming out. That'll be mid-November. It's going to be called Fields of Lightning, and we're going to be going back to that classic West Coast IPA. Taproom only, we're going to get some nothing. It might be in a new package format this year. It's going to be pretty fun. So keep an eye out for that. That's being brewed here soon. And then I'm just like the rest of the year. So Is Ticking Clock, we're a little bit behind on that beer, but we are actually finally emptying those barrels and putting those into bottles here in the next couple of weeks as well.
That's our bourbon barrel-aged robust porter with coconut and coffee.
Yeah.
Inspired by Clerks.
Yeah, named in honor of Kevin Smith, because the day we had to name that beer, he'd actually had his widowmaker heart attack and survived it. And I was like, I want to name a beer after him. His Clerks was such an important movie for me as a kid, and then Chasing Amy and Mallrats and all those guys. And so my favorite line in Clerks is, my love for you is ticking clock, Berserker. And it's done by this like hilarious Russian exchange student. And so I wanted to name it Is Ticking Clock. And everybody in our team was like, no, Ticking Clock. And I'm like, no, Is Ticking Clock. If it's not Is Ticking Clock, it's not a reference. And I immediately got on my phone and I texted my friend who I had watched Clerks with a dozen times as a kid and wrote, what would you say if I said Is Ticking Clock? And he wrote back, Berserker. And I was like, yes, okay.
I'll say at JBF last year, we poured Is Ticking Clock. And a random gentleman just like walked up to the booth and just was like like stomping his feet, being like berserker, berserker. And I was like, this man gets it.
Cool. That's cool.
Because everybody else, again, like wants to put those and pull, like change the name of the beer. But then you get the guy who does actually get the reference and you're like, all right, cool.
There's some pretty fun Easter eggs on the label. If you know Clerks well, you should spend some time looking at it. There's some not for children's eyes on one section.
And then,
I won't reveal what it is.
nice. And gotta ask the October Halloween question. Do you have any preferred horror movies? I remember your old house in Venice, Lori, the old, Quarantine, the big spider on the front of the house. So I know you're into, you're into the genre. What's your lady's favorite?
Man, I have an 11-year-old, so I haven't watched a horror movie in 11 years. I mean, I heard Dan mention Shining. That's always a classic, and Birds and Vertigo and all those guys. The trailers for Saw come up every year, and that's pretty much as far as I can go. I can't even watch the show. I just can see that part. And then also Hellraiser was probably one of my first horror movies as a child. I was like 14 years old and hiding up in my parents' room while they were downstairs having dinner, and I was watching movies I wasn't supposed to watch. It's one of them.
My dad always loved like random horror movies. So it was like movies like The Stuff, where, and you're just like, what is this? Like Fluffernutters taking over human bodies. I don't understand. But I do very much enjoy the classics with Hitchcock as well. Psycho all day, every day. Not the reboot. No reboots. Stop.
I have a really good I have a really good ghost story I could share.
Yes.
Always
Instead of horror movies, I tend to have real life experiences. So I went to my husband's brother's wedding in an old Cape Cod, Massachusetts home built in the early 1800s. And the man who owned it, his name was Isaac Patch, who's actually related to Patch Adams, is weirdly enough. And he was 94 years old. He just passed away. And his house is right on the Sound in Massachusetts. And you walk in, we were staying there for the wedding week. And as soon as I went in, my hair went up on the back of my neck. And I was like, ooh, this place is like full of stuff, like full of story, full of history, full of energy that's left over. And I got very strangely obsessed with the house. I was like asking questions, and I was drilling people, and I went down into this little room, and there's posters for the Lusitania, and there's like old, beautiful tin plates up on the walls. And so Porter and I were staying in this room. It was actually a very funny room. It's a hidden room for the owner's liaisons with his male counterparts. And you would have to push a bookcase back to climb into a little tunnel to get back into his study. And we were staying in there. And I was like, I need to go to the restroom. It was 1 o'clock in the morning. And I came out, and I was like, come with me. I don't want to be alone. Go out, walk through. And there's this little room with a fire. The fire's purely embers. There's nothing burning. And I walked in, I was like, ooh, it's so cold. I wish there would be a fire for me. It's so hot. I mean, so cold. I wish like there would just be a big, beautiful blazing bonfire. And I went to the restroom, and when I came back, literally 2 minutes later, huge fire. The whole fireplace was just lit up. And I could feel like my skin tingling. And I was like, they did it for me, because I loved this house so much. I had shown so much passion for the home that they were there clearly like welcoming me in. And so it was really cool. It was a cool experience. Friendly ghosts are always good.
A lot of weird buildings there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, a lot of history.
Dennis, I know we've been going on. Do you have any of the poll?
No, I think we're good. There was a couple of poll questions that you guys submitted like 5 minutes before we started. So, but instead of making it a poll, maybe you could just answer it. What year was Smog City Brewing founded?
So it's a complicated question, because 2011 is when we sold our first beer. October of 2011. We were selling out of Tustin Brewing Company down in Orange County. My husband was the head brewer there for 5+ years. and we convinced the owner to let us use his excess capacity, and launched Coffee Porter and Smog City XPA. I don't know if anybody remembers that one. Back when XPAs were a thing. LA Saison and Smog City IPA, which was Hop Tonic then. It took us about 1.5 years to find our location here in Torrance, and we opened our tap room in 2013.
And then the second, I guess, question was, name 3 beers of ours that you can find year round.
Yeah, so Little Bo Pills, Coffee Porter, Smog City IPA, Sabertooth Squirrel, my most favorite one. Actually, Coffee Porter is my favorite. Who am I?
Coffee Porter's your favorite, don't lie.
Coffee Porter. That's my favorite one. That's my baby for the rest of my life. And Sabertooth Squirrel's a close second. So yeah, those are the 3 that you can get right now and have been able to for the last 7-8 years. And then we just recently launched a couple of new core year-round Snugglebug, the Smog Days series, and From LA with Love are all, and Amarillo Gorilla are all now going to be full-time beers that are available out in Southern California.
Very cool.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys for coming on.
Absolutely. Thank you for having us. I'm sorry that we sent our questions in late. We were
not a problem.
Lori was putting out all the fires from the tap rooms being open.
Yeah.
Time in 6 months.
I know you guys are super busy.
Of course, the county decided to let us open our tap rooms for on-site on the same weekend that we were opening Glendora, and it was not supposed to be, but we're not complaining. We're super happy to have people back on our site. So,
Well,
Lori,
congratulations,
thank you guys.
See you, ladies.
Love you guys. Appreciate it.
Hey guys, we
love
love
you
you.
guys.
Thank you guys.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. Well, it's probably about to get a little bit crazy.
Well, I think we should.
We're done for the day.
I think we'll kind of skip the next brewery guest because
well, we're gonna head to the #1 pizza in Long Beach right now, and we'll be back in a few hours. So otherwise, if you guys,
let it loose, we're.
It's about to get. It's about to get nuts.
Oh, here we go. I see that name. Oh.
That's right, bitches.
Oh my God. Oh, shit. Dennis, you should inform your audience it's about to get R-rated.
Yeah, if you have any kids in the room.
If they know anything about us, they know me.
Dutch is in the house.
Oh, man.
Come on. Do what you got to do.
We don't even have your beer right now, so we're just gonna stay, just stand here looking at each other.
Is Ryan coming up to us to have the best pizza? Is that what she's doing?
No, but she's going to 7-Eleven to get the beer that we're going to replace yours with right now.
Oh, shit! Because that's right, we're so big, we're nationwide. We're in 7-Eleven, bro.
Well, hey, while we get your amazing beer, tell us about who you are. What what Dutchess is all about, and we'll talk shit in between.
Well, as you know, we're Dutchess Brewhouse, the best pizza in town, of course, all of Long Beach. Might even take over a little bit of LA County. Oh, hold on, there's our little thing popped up on us here. I started this shit, 15 years ago with brewing. Decided I was gonna do something crazy. My wife said, yeah, go for it. We opened up a brew house. I started making beer, realized I wasn't making good, consistent beer. Adam Escobar came along, and he's the man that's been making our great beer ever since. And so that's all I could really say about the Dutchess brand is that I had this great idea, realized who I was and where I was in the world. But you know what? It's all about this man right here. So we got.
What's the awesome young man right next to you, what is your background? Had your beer, we were there last week. Actually, congratulations, by the way. If anybody that knows, Dutchess celebrated their 4-year anniversary last week, correct?
Yes, and we still are, by the way.
Oh, you still are? Oh, that rum bomb looks very familiar, my friend.
Yeah, it's much lower than when you were here last.
I wouldn't expect anything else.
I was looking for some good beer in the fridge, but I couldn't find anything, so I just got these out.
Ah, well.
I was looking for something a little,
Actually, though,
some craft beer.
But I gotta say, because Adam makes these, you gotta give him full credit.
Yeah, sorry, Adam, they're good beers.
If it was Jason making them, then they'd be going right down the drain.
Trust me, that's why I got out of that game real quick. I hired the guy that does the shit.
No,
I still gotta say,
What's that say on your shirt?
oh yeah,
Martin who?
Oh.
Fourth Horseman sucks?
Wow.
I tried to spray paint the back, but it didn't work.
Oh, damn! Oh, go
I
viral.
told you I'm gonna need a new shirt after this.
Yeah, they're $50.
Shit.
So, what can we
All
start?
right, let's
Walk us through the beer.
let's talk serious about our beer first, and then we'll fuck with the rest of you guys because you guys suck.
I'll also get some rum.
You asked my background, Martin. I just was homebrewing. I enjoyed beer, got into it, and then I like tea, coffee, things like that. So I like to incorporate different flavors into the beers. And because we do such small batch and we used to have people come in and make beer with us, they get to take it home, design whatever beer they want. We get to customize every single batch. So that's why we released or gave 2 beers. We had 2 options. We have a West Coast IPA and a German-style Pilsner with fresh spruce tips. So it's kind of like that tea aspect, adding it to it. And we're just really small batch. So that's why we did that.
And can you tell us a little bit about your brew house? Because I know it's a 1-barrel system.
It's a half batch.
We do about 26 gallons is what we can really push into that. And obviously we dumb it down a little bit just so we can get a half barrel. But and that's the thing is when we started this, it was like, hey, I like making beer. I love bars, as we all know. And so when I started this, I was making beer at brew bakers a lot. Coming from the homebrew world, I got tired of dealing with all the other shit, the cleanup and all that stuff. So when I opened this up, it was good. And actually our boy from Rip now, he used to work at, Ian used to work at brew bakers. So he came down and he was going through the whole system with me and teaching me all the stuff. And I made 2 batches, it's great. Then I made the 3rd batch, it wasn't so good. And then somehow Adam just fell on my doorstep and he quickly learned how to work this system and he basically jailbroke the system, man. And he's been really pushing out some really good beers ever since. Because it was designed literally to do partial mash, right? You're not supposed to do all grain on this. And like I said, he jailbroke it and has really learned the system and really killed it.
What you had a 9 or 10%? I think was it like a robust porter or something on last week? Was it a
coffee porter?
Coffee porter. It was amazing, dude. It was
so
really fucking good. Pardon my French.
Thank you. So at least with these beers, we just tried to go back to our roots and then kind of just make special beers for this festival. So especially with the spruce tip, we added fresh spruce tips from Colorado. So it gives you kind of like that tea-like, piney, resinous softness that you would get from like a fresh hop beer.
Absolutely.
It gives you that mouthfeel, but all German ingredients all the way down. So
it's absolutely delicious. All shit talking aside, it's
Let's go back to the shit talking a little bit, maybe, shall we? Before we go on to the second beer.
now, like, how what's your usual yield on the system? Like, there's a lot of breweries, average 10, 15 barrel brew houses at a half barrel. Because there's a lot of effort that goes in, and the beer speaks for itself, which is awesome. I wish there was more of it. We would love to sell it at Fourth Horseman.
Well, I'm going to give a little teaser right now. We're on the, we're about to expand very soon. I can't talk much about it, but by 2021, look for us being a little bit bigger. That's all I got to say.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
As long as it's not expanding your pizza program, we're totally cool.
Oh, we're gonna do that, and we're gonna crush you even harder than we do now. Just saying.
Wow.
Hey, Jason, before we go on, if you wanna, everyone that got beers, if you got I'm actually holding this
Okay,
upside down.
wait, you got both of
You
them?
got a can that has labels that are upside down. There's one of each that was in rotation in one of the boxes. So
Yeah, if any of you guys find your can upside down, I'm going to give you guys a $20 gift card when you come in. Let me know. Bring me the can. I have to see the can.
Hold on a second. Hold on. These come off pretty fast. Hold on.
Yeah,
hold on.
but I got something on the back that you don't know about. This ain't my first rodeo.
All right, we're done with this. You're just.
Yeah, so seriously, come on down. Bring your upside down can to us and let us know what you got going on.
So why don't you tell people about what you guys are doing, like how your hours are, because you are a brewery, but you're also have always been a restaurant. So
Yeah,
what's going on with your COVID operations?
we've been very fortunate, obviously, through this whole thing, unlike a lot of the brewers here today and yesterday, since we have a brew pub license, I should say. We've been allowed to stay open this whole time, and we are able to do any of our beers. As you guys know, we don't necessarily have a lot of our beers on tap at once. We have one or two max probably ever. And the thing is that the city obviously let us do some things. We now have sidewalk dining and stuff like that. Hopefully we get a parklet soon. I don't know. Talk to your mayor. But we've been very fortunate in the sense that we're a type 23 as well, but since we have a restaurant license, it makes us a brew pub, so we didn't have to shut down. So for all those who had to, I apologize, and I'm with you, and I'm here on the fight with you. We're here on the fight with you, but it sucks for everybody, and we're just fortunate that we haven't had to, and so we're open 5 o'clock to 9, Tuesday through Thursday, 4 o'clock to 10 on Friday, and then 2 to 10 on Saturday, and 2 to 9:30 on Sunday. So.
And the Fourth Horseman is open at 11 a.m. every day.
And I was down there the other day, and God, the service was horrible, by the way.
Well, we
told them you were coming. So.
I had to go into some side door that took me to some dungeon. It was really creepy, man. I don't get it.
But well, yeah, that's what happens when you walk in and you announce yourself as an elite Yelper. I mean, and then you have an untapped account. Then you know, like
we didn't even say who we were, and the guy goes, "Are you Duchess?" And I said,
I sent him a picture of you. I sent him your meme. Like, if you see this guy, watch out.
I love it. But hey, you know what? Seriously, by the way, guys, our 4-year anniversary, these bastards from Fourth Horseman brought me a nice bottle of rum. I appreciate it. Doesn't matter. Here's also, we are the first recipients of the Fourth Horseman pizza eating contest.
Yes.
Hopefully next year we can get back to that.
Absolutely.
Because we're going to dominate again.
I mean, as you should. If you don't having a pizza place and you can't win like the pizza contest, Yeah.
Should we move on to our next beer?
Yes.
No, it's just I think we should just go right on to.
There is a question. What is the story behind the name Fawnduh?
Oh well.
It's a West Coast IPA with straight Idaho 7 hops. So Idaho, we were just trying to bounce things back and forth, and fellow coworkers here, we ended up just going down the Napoleon Dynamite.
We're gonna do a whole Napoleon series, by the way. We got Tater Tot coming out soon. We got a bunch of other shit. But Idaho 7. I've been drinking a little bit. Idaho 7 is a great hop. I love it. Adam loves it. We did an Idaho. Well, the 777s was a beer we did, I think, for last year's festival. That was really good, and I enjoyed it, but he wanted to change it up. He doesn't like to do things repetitively, so I'm like, all right, fine. And this is what he came up with, and we were struggling for names, and so I thought, well, I would do Napoleon, but that was too obvious because, from Idaho 7, Napoleon Dynamite was filmed in about Idaho. So we were just having some fun with that, and then my lovely wife said, what was the the guy's girlfriend's name? And we all said, I think together, Fawnduh. And so there it is, La Fawnduh.
Yeah, Jason's typically the namer of all beers, so.
Which means that's why they're bad.
They're unique.
Well, hold on. We're gonna pop it over
While
here.
we're popping this beer open, another question popped up and asks, what flavor does Spruce Tips add to the beer?
Yeah, so Spruce Tips will typically give you like a soft citrus aroma and flavor, but also it's very reminiscent of like pine and yeah, it's like really Christmas tree-esque in that sense. You get like the fir needles that are very like piney resinous with a little bit of floral notes. Yeah.
Last year we did our first pine needle beer. We did
a saison with Christmas tree needles, so Douglas fir needles.
Literally from my Christmas tree. I just stripped all the needles off.
Very cool.
We figured we called it my Blue Christmas, which is I'm a big Elvis fan as well. So it's kind of a fun thing.
Oh, Jason, here's another question. Somebody's asking, since Duchess prefers prepackaged frozen pizzas, where do you get them?
Well, in the grocery store. DiGiorno is great.
I was going to say 7-Eleven.
Oh, 7-Eleven. I heard she was going to go to 7-Eleven to get the best pizza.
I was gonna go get some White Claw and the best pizza, and I was like, I'll be back. I'm going to Duchess, and he thought I said 7-Eleven.
All I gotta say is, Martin who? What?
Oh man.
Okay,
Sure.
We're for Duchess. What's the best toppings on a Dutch pizza?
We have very conflicting.
So I'm a meat guy. He's a veggie guy. So we do the white night.
Pineapple.
Huh?
Where do you stand on pineapple?
I love pineapple. He hates pineapple.
Nope.
I love pineapple.
We agree on that, Jason. I love you.
Fruit should never be one.
Nah. Hot pineapple, bacon, and pepperoni, best pizza. Well, I'd say it's just my favorite. This dumbass, he likes the white night, which is bacon and pesto, but we do Adam style. So anyone who's a vegetarian wants to come in and get Adam style, we substitute the bacon for mushrooms.
Yeah. So it adds a nice umami that, honestly, with the pesto and all that, it's really good.
If you're into that kind of shit.
What is your favorite Fourth Horseman pizza?
The vegetarian one that you guys have. I love that one.
I've never had it.
By the way, one thing though, we have to say that you have a great pizza menu, all the jokes aside, but we do love, me personally, you make a version, it's kind of the old term, hillbilly nachos on the Frito pie.
Oh yeah.
One of my favorite, it's one of those things you don't see that often. You guys, we used to make one back in the day at Phantom, and yours is, just really good, man. It's just, it takes.
Well, I gotta give it a throwback to Texas, baby. It's a Texas dish. It was actually probably a Midwestern Frito casserole was the thing, right? And then someone in Texas said, "Hey, we need to have something that you can put in a bag and eat." And so someone said, "All right, well, let's do a bag of Fritos, throw some chili on top of it, and make that." And it was a Texas State Fair thing in probably like the 60s, maybe. I don't know when that actually happened.
Yeah.
That became the Texas thing. And then all of a sudden here we got the Frito boat. No, that's a Texas. That's come on. Frito pie. You don't do this shit.
No. By the way, and your queso dip is also very,
It's really
very
good.
tasty.
Do you still have the Fifth Horseman pizza? Because that had the queso dip on it, right?
To have what?
The Fifth Horseman pizza.
Oh yeah, we still have that. It's the hidden menu. It's part of the hidden menu. Yeah.
So good.
Yeah. Which was the best prank I pulled on you guys yet was bringing pizzas down to
I
your
wish we had video of it. I mean, I do. We have it. But I wish we had it to show right now because that was fantastic. For those of you who don't know, Jason showed up to the Fourth Horseman with pizza from Duchess Brewhouse, and he came into the restaurant on a Sunday night and was giving pizza away, saying, "Who wants the best pizza in Long Beach? Who needs the best pizza in Long Beach? Here you go, here you go." And we love each other, but we have a secret war, obviously.
But the only problem was there was some homeless dude at the front, and I didn't want him to really bug your restaurant, so I gave him 2 of my pies, so I couldn't give them to the rest of your patrons.
Jason, that's our
hangs
host.
out every day.
That's our host. Tap the brakes. But no, I know we're running out of time, and Dennis has basically said, yeah, we got to cut, cut these guys short.
Someone also
Don't
just
have
wanted
more
to,
rum.
get a room, Martin. So
Who's this? Who's this Carl BW? I mean, there's a guy who works for Beechwood Brewing named Carl, but I don't know.
All right. Well, hey, who answered our questions? Our trivia
right.
questions.
yeah.
Poll questions. Let's see. First one was, which Duchess employee left a grumpy on the bathroom floor at the Fourth
Oh, I know
Horseman
the
during
answer
their
to that.
opening week? What's the answer, Jason?
Well, the answer is no one. They just suck so much. Everyone should leave a grumpy on the bathroom floor. I
That's
don't
what
think it ever
everyone
happened.
said.
I don't even see this.
Who is Dutch's man crush?
Martin.
No. God, no. How you find him attractive, I don't even know.
I drink a lot. Thank you for alcohol.
The answers were tied between Tom Selleck and Chuck Norris.
Oh,
Yes.
boy.
I think that's
Hi?
crazy.
It's Tom Selleck, baby.
All day.
Hold on.
Don't mess with the stash.
Tom Selleck, baby. Come on. Hold on. Wait, we got more garb everywhere. It's everywhere, baby.
Ugh.
And then the
don't
third question. The third question is, what Dutch's beer was named after Dutch's wife?
Hold on. Before you get to that question.
Yes. Yes.
Sorry. What was the question?
What Dutchess?
What Dutch's beer was named after Dutch's
My
wife?
Pale Wife, which that was the first beer that actually I made. That was the good one, with the help actually of Ian and Tom from the home brew shop over there. Why am I drawing a blank? But anyway, those guys helped me out. We made this beer and it was great. And we were trying to come up with a name for my pale ale. And for some reason, my wife said "My Pale Wife," and I'm like, all right, that's great because she is very pale. She's a Irish American and very pale.
The fourth and final question: in the feud between Dutch's and the Fourth Horseman, who had the best pizza? Dutch's, or Dutch's?
Duh, Dutch's.
I would like everybody who voted information, just so next time they order from us, there will be a surcharge. When are we going to do our collaboration is really the number 5 question, I feel like.
That's a nice collab right there.
We're gonna do a pizza collab and a beer collab. We're gonna have Martin and you guys come down. We're gonna make beer when we come into our new brew house in January. I want you guys to come down. We'll do that, and then we'll collab on a pizza as well.
Yes.
Love it.
Cheers.
Love it. Love you
We
guys.
love you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Adam, keep kicking ass, man. You're making great beer.
He is great. Don't
Hang up with
do
that.
not discount this motherfucker.
Love you guys.
Good night.
Before we let you go, everyone, we have this collab hat here with Dutch's Brewhouse. Jason picked out all the colors. He picked out everything on this. It's got the Dutch's logo on the side, Brew logo on the back. You can pick it up at Dutch's Brewhouse.
Thanks for the plug. We got them still. We have a few more left at the house here. So
cool. Thanks guys.
You guys are doing a great job, by the way.
Thank you so much.
What?
Oh.
Get you a new shirt.
Yeah, I need a new shirt.
Yeah.
Because this one's now trashed.
Bastard.
Thanks, Jason. Love you guys, man.
Bye, guys. Be good.
Bye. All right, guys. Let's see here. Oh, now's my time to plug more product for you guys. So in case you guys were not here yesterday, or in case you forgot, we have hats, as you can see behind me. I will send you links. We have all different kinds of hats. Everything's going to be on sale today until the end of today for $20. I'll send links for everything. I showed yesterday we have this little Ohana set that's like a flat bill, curved bill, and a little kid's hat. You can mix and match however you want. $20 each. We still have this guy. We have this guy. A few of these guys still left for $10, and we're just blowing these guys out right now. We have 2 versions of this unicorn hat. I don't know if we have many of these first versions left, but the second version has all this goodness going on. We have a lot of hats. If you log on to lbhats.com and then also localbeerbrand.com, we also have a bunch of shirts, different kinds of shirts, support local beer. We have this limited edition shirt that is only available during the festival. So if you want to log on and pick up this shirt, we're only printing however many people order. And once we print these, we'll never print these ones again. We have men's size and we have women's size. And I still have some of these sun hats left, perfect for working out in the garden or the next festival when we can go outdoors again. So yeah, we have a bunch of stuff available for you. I'll send out the links, and I sent out an email this morning. There's also if you enjoy 90s hip hop, there's a mix out right now that has drops from a lot of the breweries and Ryan and Martin and everyone on there. It's explicit version, so if you're with kids, it's probably not a good mix to listen to, but I'll send a link for that too. I sent that out this morning to everybody. It's a pretty good mix. It's by Dubs One. He's based out of Long Beach too. So yeah, please support. Usually at the festival, we have a booth set up that has all the shirts and hats and everything, and so we wanted to kind of keep that going. We have the shirts and hats still at $20, and that includes shipping.
Whoa.
Yeah, so that's probably the best deal you'll get.
Yeah.
Usually there's like $5 for shipping, but right now it's free shipping.
Would you want to have people be able to pick it up at the Horseman for free?
Yeah,
too? And then
sure.
Get a discount on, if they do that and they want to pick it up there, we could coordinate and they can get a discount to come pick up pizza and beer as well.
Yeah, we could for sure do that. If anyone wants to do that, order your hat. Actually, it would actually save me shipping charge, but I would gladly go deliver hats to the Fourth Horseman. If you're willing to go pick up at the Fourth Horseman, I'll bring whatever you order over there, and just shoot me a message and let me know you ordered and you would like to pick up at Fourth Horseman, and we could set that up. And I know yesterday, Ryan, you guys mentioned like a discount if people wanted to order pizza and stuff.
Yeah. Again, it's eat beer, drink pizza, all one word. If you go to our website, thefourthhorsemanlbc.com, order through there. You can order delivery or takeout, and then there's a promo code, or I want to ask you for the promo code, eat beer, drink pizza. And it's a 10.25% discount, so we pay for Long Beach tax.
And Dennis, while people are picking up your shirts at our bar, we're also doing a t-shirt exchange. So if anybody brings in a Dutch's Brewhouse shirt, they'll get a free Fourth Horseman shirt.
Perfect. All right, guys. So next up, we have Katie Joe. She will be performing live for you guys right now. Katie, if you can turn on your microphone.
Okay.
There you are.
I'm here.
That would probably help.
Hey.
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. You want to introduce yourself real quick and just let everyone know who you are and.
Sure. I'm Katie Joe. Hello to everyone on the Beer Fest and Instagram. You might have seen me. We played at the Beer Fest the last 2 years, and it was really, really fun. So I'm glad that I can be involved again, even though doing the whole band, we're not outside. I know everyone is probably still enjoying their libations. So play a couple drinking songs and try and get everyone in the mood.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. All right, this is a classic. It's good for just a Sunday, slow Sunday beer-a-thon. used to spend my nights out in the garden. Never was the only love I know. But you rescued me, reaching for the bottom. Probably back, been too far gone. Oh, that's blue, Tennessee, Whiskey. You're as sweet as strawberry wine. You're as warm as the last brandy. Honey, I stay strong on your love all the time. I was looking for love in all the same old places. And the bottom of the bottle's always dry. But when you poured out your heart, I didn't waste it. 'Cause there's nothing like your love to get. You're as smooth as Tennessee whiskey. You're as sweet as strawberry wine. You're as warm as last brandy. Honey, I won't stay strong on your love all the time. You're as smooth as Tennessee whiskey. You're as sweet as strawberry wine. You're as warm as last brandy. Honey, I won't stay strong on your love all the time. I'll stay strong on your love all the time. Oh, that song. I know it's not about beer, but it's a nice segue into drinking. I'm gonna play actually one of my favorite songs about drinking in a bar, which is something I think we all miss doing, just hanging out together. This is called There Stands the Glass. It's an old Webb beer song, and there's a line in the song that says, it's my first one today, but I know it's not your first drink today because you're at a beer festival. And I have so many of these commemorative glasses from last year and the year before, and they're just the perfect little size for drinking. So I'm gonna have to get one for this year because I literally have like 20 of these, and they're really wonderful. So cheers, everyone. This is There Stands the Glass. Oh, can you fix I think the Instagram phone is going haywire. Perfect. Hey, everybody.
Maybe I can type in it. Sorry.
Cool. There stands a glass that'll ease all my pain, that'll settle my brain. It's my first one today. There stands a glass that'll hide all my tears, that'll settle my fears. Brother, I'm on my way. I'm wondering where you are tonight. I'm wondering if you are alright. I'm wondering if you think of me in my misery. There stands a blind, really down to the brim, till my troubles grow dim. Brother, I'm on my way. I'm wondering where you are tonight. I'm wondering if you are alright. I'm wondering if you think of me in my misery. There stands a light that'll ease all my pain, that'll settle my brain. It's my first one today. It's my first one today. Thank you. You can't see it. If you were on earlier on the Beer Fest, Desiree who sang the national anthem, my roommate and current behind the scenes manager, she's clapping silently. I'm singing harmony behind in the background. All right, cheers everybody. That was There Stands a Glass. Oh. This is very exciting for me because I was just on a very long road trip where I didn't really interact with another human for a number of weeks. So it's nice to be connecting virtually. Quarantining now, so just hanging out, writing songs about my experience. I'm gonna play a song that I wrote called Paradise of Us. It brings me back to happier times when the world was open and we could go hang out with everybody on the beach. So just transport yourself to whatever your happiest memory is. This is called Paradise of Us. Up that umbrella moon, I see you right. You make a little splash of something else to remind me of what we used to have. Gotta take it slow, stop it gives the ground. I wanna get pulled back in your time, somewhere that we can't be found. So don't tell anybody, just keep got me to throw 'em out. Come a little closer now, let me be the breeze to your tennis swing. Turn off your phone, shut it down. Only news I care about is being the shimmer to your rolling wave. No shirt, no shoes, no rules, no rush. I ain't in no hurry, except to get to that paradise. Yeah, that paradise of us. Ain't no Sunday blues where the parents play. We could be rocking to the beach all day. Just dig our feet in and make it last. 'Cause I can see the sun in everything you do. Don't celebrate, baby, till we see this through. Don't need no more horizon when I'm with you. So don't tell anybody, just kick off your boots, throw 'em out. Come a little closer now, let me be the breeze to your talent swing. Turn off your phone, shut it down. Only news I care about is being the shimmer to your rolling wave. No shirt, no shoes, no rules, no rush. I ain't in no hurry, except to get to that paradise. Yeah, that paradise of us. Don't leave me here on the man's island to myself. I go crazy. You jump ship with someone else. So got to roll around, let them be the breeze to go down like swing. Rock the phone, shut it down. Now I'm being the shimmer to the rolling wave. No shirt, no shoes, no rules, no rush. I ain't in no hurry, except to get to that paradise. Yeah, that paradise of us. Except to get to that paradise. Yeah, that paradise of us. Except to get to that paradise. Yeah, that paradise. Kind of feels like a jungle in here because I'm in our sunroom and it's very warm. I did not realize it would still be like 90 degrees in California. Oh yeah, we have the cable set up and the speaker and the spring lights. So yeah, sorry if I'm sweating a lot. Okay, I'm gonna play 2 more songs and this little intermission. Thanks again to Dennis for having us, for having me, and Desiree singing the national anthem earlier.
Thanks, Dennis.
Thanks for coming on, guys.
Yeah. I'm gonna play a song I wrote. This is called Pawn Shop Queen. If you've seen us play live, you've probably heard this song. It's kind of depressing, but that's why we're all drinking, right? Or at least I am. I hope you are on that end as well. Okay, this is called Pawn Shop Queen. Love your eyes, farm, glint so bright, you go, and I shine, safe behind the place now. The time has passed, pages yellow, your words just left. I believe that we were one of a kind. You cast me aside. Here I am, a pawn shop waiting, all gown written right down the sea. Precious down, losing its face. Pretty picture in a broken frame, all this grace in a pile of shame, is waiting to be given away. Too late to slow the grave, too late to stop and say the love only worth a simple trade. Now I see the cracks along the you. As I left you, kept it all perfectly intact. I believe that we were one of a kind. Then you cast me aside. Here I am, a pawn shop waiting, all gown written right down the sea. Precious down, losing its flame. Pretty picture in a broken frame, all this grace in a pile of shame, just waiting to be given away. I thought if the tables turned and you wanted to return, I'd run to your arms to be repaid. Sitting here among the stars, I see their treasure. It must be so this beauty lays beyond the mental space, jacketed up, perfectly intact. down. You're so pretty. Pretty picture in a broken frame. All this grace in a pile of shame. Just waiting to be given away. Just waiting to be given away. All right, that's for anybody drinking over heartbreak. Sometimes it happens. Okay, I'm gonna play one more song. Hopefully I have time for that, Dennis. This is a song inspired by the road. When you go on road trips, you see a lot of billboards, and sometimes they're very shocking. Sometimes you don't agree with them. Sometimes they're funny. So I wrote a song about some billboards that I saw that really got my mind turning. This is called "Don't Need No Devil." What I do need though is I need a car wash because my car is very dirty. I drove through like 15 different types of desert, I think, and drove up some sand dunes. Yeah, so both me and my car need a wash. So that's inspired by this. This is "Don't Need No Devil," but I do need a car wash. Right on the county line, as soon as you drive by, sign says we're introduced. Say what? I know where I'm from. This road to this ain't paid. With good intention to grace. Don't need no devil to keep it down. Don't need no devil. Sunday songs that teach me how to stay proud. Don't need no devil. I'm on the ground. Don't need no devil to keep it down. We don't see eye to eye. Don't mean I'm going blind from how to live with a little mercy. Just 'cause I've seen it live, you cannot decide. Don't mean you can lord over me. With some false sense of modesty. Don't need no devil to keep me down. Don't need no devil. Sunday songs that teach me how to stay down. Don't need no devil. I'm all around. Don't need no devil to keep it down. Cross my heart, I'll be alright. I'll take my chances when I die. In the meantime, don't need no devil to keep it down. Don't need no devil. Sunday songs that teach me how to stay proud. Don't need no devil. I'm all around. Don't need no devil to keep it down. Don't need no devil to keep me down. I don't know if it's sacrilegious to play that song on Sunday, but we're all drinking on a Sunday, so I feel like it's yeah, it's all right. So it's on brand, yeah. All right, that's all I got for you. Thank you, Dennis, for having me. It's nice to see all of you virtually. And
Thank you, Katie.
Next year in person at the actual.
Yeah,
beer.
for sure. Appreciate you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
All right. Wow. Hi, Martin. Liberation guys, you guys are up.
Oh, sugar or chicken?
If you guys could turn on your camera and mics.
Are we on, Eric?
Uh-oh.
There's trouble.
Uh-oh.
There's trouble.
That's how people wear masks correctly.
Are we on?
Oh, you're on. You are on like Donkey Kong.
What?
What was?
Ah! Your mask is way better. It's not a mask, is it?
No.
Oh, look at our two pretty friends.
How you guys doing?
And Dennis.
And me.
How are you guys?
Oh, hey, we're doing great. We're doing great. How are you guys?
We're good.
About to
Not
drink
bad.
the beer.
We're excited
Drinking
to drink
beer.
beer. We,
Cheers to that. Yeah.
Cheers. Martin needs to pour our beer out.
Oh, I gotta pour the damn beer out first. God.
We came and picked up some chicken this morning because we knew
Ooh.
we were like, we needed to fill our bellies before we drank all this. So we headed up there, but I didn't see you guys, and we were on a mission because, fun fact, our business partners got into our beer stash last night, and
you were one of the victims, as was Betty.
yeah, we had to go do some recon and get some of our beer back. So,
That'll happen. Yeah.
that's what happens when you're like, oh, we left them alone on a night of an art show opening, and then they were like, look at all this cool beer that's here.
Your gremlins have excellent taste.
Yes, they do. I think they call them the lurchins, actually.
Well,
so yeah, tell us about your beer. Tell the people who you guys are, what the name of Liberation is.
Yeah.
And I See Danger. What are we drinking here?
Ooh, all right. Well, hey, we're Eric and Dan from Liberation Brewing Company in Long Beach, up in the Bixby Knolls neighborhood, right by Ambitious and Dutchess, and we're all kind of right by each other, right? It's not a big city. We opened about 100 years ago?
Yeah.
2 years and a couple smattering of months ago.
So you had a 2-year COVID anniversary?
That's right. Yeah. Every day is about a year. But yeah, we specialize in we have a lot of IPAs on right now, but it's definitely pub style beers. There's 3 of us partners. You may have seen the quiz. No hints. And yeah, we're buddies with everybody. This is our favorite fest. We actually, we brewed a beer with 10 Mile Brewing. I don't know if you've heard of these guys. They're very small brewery in Signal Hill. It's very far away, another land. We brewed a beer with them before we ever opened, and were able to go to the 2017 fest. Yes, and so it's been, I don't know, we feel like we've grown up with the fest, and we're thrilled to be a part of it. We brewed a very special beer just for the fest called I See Danger, and my friend Eric will tell you about it.
It's super simple, West Coast IPA. Used experimental hop HBC 586 and whatever for bittering. But you get it's supposed to be mango and a little guava, a little herby, earthy thing going on. But I just like making
beer.
Yeah, and I like making clean, bright IPAs with expressive hop character, moderate to low bitterness, just stuff that people hopefully come back and get a second pour of.
Absolutely.
So I don't think we're supposed to ask too many questions because they have something about like the polls, or some of the questions are in the polls. What's the name behind Liberation? Where did that come from for you guys?
Liberation. So we wanted a word with action. We wanted an action-packed word, and something that people could sort of project their ideas upon. Our idea, and this is where the logo comes from, our idea was that, as a colonial power, we bombed the snot out of other countries in the name of liberation. So that's our vibe on it. But I'm sure, everyone can have their thing, And and the bomb kind of comes from, I guess, Dr. Strangelove.
Yeah.
Eric was a film major before he was a brewer. And the two things we could talk about music too. Yeah. So when we first met, we could talk about music and Stanley Kubrick and beer. And so the bomb made its way in.
What do we talk about with music?
Well, we kind of both.
Tom Waits.
Tom Waits
Tom
mostly,
Waits.
yeah. We listen to the Idols a lot right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, or Idols.
Yeah. OC's Flying Lotus was a.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Then we started making out, really.
We have a question from someone not us right now. So,
Okay.
Liberation, where does the artwork come from on the can? But I think maybe this.
Oh yes. So as Eric said, the hop is named HBC
586.
586. 586 is the name of a New Order song, and we sort of cribbed the vibe of the record it's on. You know, the record. What is it?
Power, Corruption, and Lies.
Kind of goes with the vibe, right? Is like an oil painting of like a still life of flowers, and so we just use different flowers. But for those 5 New Order fans that are watching right now.
There we go.
Now, can you tell us, like, just nitty gritty, the brew house, when you guys got going? I know you guys, do a lot of small batch brewing. Just how big's the batch? What are your plans, for, possibly expanding, everything you're pumping out. You do some amazing beers, known both you guys for quite a bit of time. We can talk about ska, yeah. It's just open mic. Go.
Well, we have a 5-barrel brew house. It's tiny but mighty. Eric
Size does not matter.
That's right. Eric works about. It's all in the hips. Eric works about 30 hours a day and kicks out some amazing beers, considering it's all with his muscles. It's just sheer willpower.
Yeah, no, I daydream about an automated brew house.
That's crazy. That's strange. That's crazy. That's crazy talk.
But yeah, when we put this thing together, we decided to go with what we know. We'd all, we'd been in punk rock bands and the mystery man and myself. And we kind of like decided to stick with what we know and just be scrappy and brutal and go for it. And, I think it was AleSmith Brewing. We were at like the Homebrew Fest, the Homebrew conference a zillion years ago. And I remember Pete Zion basically saying people forced him to expand. And we're like, wow, that sounds nice. It'd be good to get to the point where they make you do it. So yeah, so that's not happening, but COVID and things like that, slowing everybody down. You've probably heard every other brewery talk about it, but we're looking at expanding the brewing capacity. Obviously, we've just started canning beers, as you guys know. You're sipping on the first one, and we're gonna do some outside dining.
Nice.
Because beer tastes better outside.
Absolutely.
Are you guys going to be sending these cans into distribution, or is this just for in-house?
Yeah. Do you know anybody?
No. I know people. I might know a few people.
Yes, we're very excited. We're putting out this one and our flagship, our baby, the beer that built the place, Jackrabbit IPA.
Yeah.
My buddy Matt Wong, who was the original bass player in Real Big Fish, he used to sketch the logos for the band and all that stuff on napkins backstage. And I just remember seeing his crazy animals and going, that's the guy that can do a Jackrabbit. So yeah, he helped me out with the label, and we're really excited to get that out.
Well, so on that note, we have a question here. Why the fish playing trombone on the wall art?
Yeah, I used to be in a band called Real Big Fish. I haven't seen them in a while. I don't know. I think they're affected by the COVID. There it is. Yeah, it kind of looks like a worm almost, but it's playing with Figrin Dawn and the Modal Nodes. You Star Wars fans out there. Yeah, that's our buddy Dave Van Patten, who painted the mural in the place. And
nice.
Like, what do you want on the wall? And we said, we just want it to look like we're hanging out with our cool friends. And so, fish playing trombone, Star Wars. There's some wizards. There's a melty face guy. There's a space lady. All of our friends.
Absolutely. Hey, we got actually Ray Grace. Hello.
Never heard of him. Never heard of him.
Asking Eric wants to know when you're going to make a kettle sour.
Oh. Hey, Dennis, can you kick Ray out of the Zoom
Ban
meeting, please?
for life, ban. So like the years, I mean, it's been the slowest, fastest year, as I say this year. What are your plans? You got some any fun beer releases coming out till the end of the year?
Yeah, we actually have a bunch of Brett Saisons in the bottle that should be. There's some are ready right now, and there's some going to be ready in December or January. Just whenever it wants to be ready. But I'm really excited about those, and new IPAs, always with the new IPAs. But the Brett Saisons,
Yeah, these are beers that Eric's been hoarding, and every time he makes like a really nice Belgian beer, he'll sort of hide a couple kegs or bottles in the back. And so we figure now that there's no future, we might as well package them up and sell them all to our friends. So we'll be announcing these very special bottle releases coming up.
Now we have another question, but I'm not sure that we're allowed to ask it from Dutch's Brewhouse.
Their middle finger. Is he doing his curse words again?
Yeah, but yeah.
He said, who is the sexiest MFer at Liberation?
Mike, question mark.
Mike, he is, but he's got to warm up to you first. I would say Yuli, our bartender.
I like Andy.
So we can't that could be.
We love Yuli.
We love Yuli, but okay. So I think we probably have to start to move our way out. But what are your same question to everybody else?
Oh.
October favorite horror movie? Do you have a haunted story you want to share with us?
Your favorite fried chicken place in Long Beach? I mean, just go nuts.
I had to think about this because I'm not a huge horror movie guy, but John Carpenter's The Thing is it's up there. It's really good. He wanted to say he just ran out. I don't know what he's doing, but he's been watching. There's the H.P. Lovecraft show.
Oh yeah. Oh,
yeah. He keeps talking about it.
Lovecraft.
We watched one episode, but we were drinking and didn't make it we wanted to give it our full all, and we had a wake together at this time. But everybody has said it's the best thing that they've ever seen recently.
Based on a great book, by the way.
Even if you're there's a lot of layers in the show, and if you just want to watch it for the horror stuff, it is really gross. It's really they really bring it. They really bring it. It's awesome.
And what is your plan for what's your new opening plan for? Are you still just continuing to do takeout? Or are you?
Yeah, right now we're takeout only. Hopefully this coming weekend.
Right.
We're gonna have a big tent out back and barrels and picnic tables and the whole thing. So stay tuned. Yeah.
Long Beach doesn't have to follow the same rules as LA County, so you don't have to have reservations with the day before. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We've been, the city's been really open to discussing the possibilities and going over the upside and the downside. And a lot of the time with these regulations, as it trickles down from state to county, county to city, you can be more strict, but you can't usually be more lax. So the fact that the city's stepping up and saying, no, you don't have to do these kind of draconian things that the county's doing is really great. It's really great.
So you'll just have to have food, basically.
Yeah, and we've had a food vendor partnered up with us since November. They're called Firebird Hot Chicken. And I mean, we were over the a year ago over the summer, we were getting food trucks like everybody else, getting food trucks every day, and we're like, what if we got one all the time and then we didn't have to make so many calls? And so we worked it out with them, and then when the COVID lockdown started, we were like, oh, this will be perfect, we've already got, and no.
Firebird is without a doubt, for anybody who hasn't had it, without a doubt the best hot Nashville chicken in Long Beach, 100%. And you guys are that's really great for this is a perfect partnership, and it's exciting that you can just hopefully soon go sit and like eat the chicken and have beers at the same time and not have to just take everything to go and like sit in a park somewhere.
We're starting a Greco-Roman wrestling club to work off the fried chicken.
Yeah.
And honestly, like we you know, any spice level of the chicken goes great with any of your beers. You know, we go there, you know, So, also real quick, I saw a question just popped up. Megan from Cal State Long Beach. Are you going to keep adding art to your tap room?
Yeah, we, that's funny. Yeah, we used to basically treat it like a gallery. And so we'd have monthly art shows. So, I mean, that's a good idea. Maybe we could put some art outside, people can't really check it out inside. They can't come inside, but yeah, why not? Let's put it outside.
There it is.
They can come out and to go to the bathroom though. That's still part of the health order.
Right.
They
They can make their own art.
Yes, they can.
For those Jackson Pollock fans.
But I definitely guess Frank on Dutch's question.
We have one more question that just popped up. Did you study music? If so, where?
That's for you, Eric.
I studied music at Long Beach Polytechnic High School. Go Jackrabbits.
Nice.
Class of 95. Yeah, I spun my wheels at Long Beach City College for about 8 weeks before the band got signed and we went on tour, and I never looked back. So I got my training in battle. But yeah, you can learn a lot out there.
No. And Eric, you've been the one-man army back at the Brewhouse. You had experience home brewing. I know you worked at a previous brewery. What would you tell, up-and-coming home brewers who are like, hey, I want to open a brewery?
Don't do it!
It's the easiest thing to do. It'll be out of your fucking mind.
That and also work at another brewery. Like, learn on someone else's dime.
Yeah. No, you've been kicking ass, man. Appreciate it. I know Dennis might have some questions. I know we've been probably going over our time limit. Dennis, do you have anything for
about working at other breweries? You can learn a lot from breweries that aren't super big and famous. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
You can learn what not to do. You can learn what to you can sort of figure out what you would do when it's your turn. And there's no bad experience, right? Even if it's an awful time, like any job, you're gonna get some good stories.
100%.
You're gonna get that Instagram video of the beer hitting you in the face or whatever.
You'll never repeat them at your place, hopefully.
Exactly.
Hopefully.
You learn well.
All right. Poll question number 1 says, what was Liberation's locations before it was a craft brewery?
Brothel.
Looks like most people got it right. 98-cent store.
Oh, man. I was going to throw you off with that one.
Cheap brothel.
I like 99-cent store.
Yeah, many smells. When we first were looking at the place, they had a bunch of incense here, and one of them was a pot-flavored incense, which was really confusing. It's for people that want to get busted but don't want to be high. I don't get it. Yeah.
And the second question was, Liberation is owned by 3 smart, handsome, talented, handsome dudes. Eric, Danny, and looks like most people got it right. Mike?
Michelob.
It is Michelob.
Michelob.
No, you're right. It's Mike. Yeah. He's the other handsome. There's handsome and then an extra handsome.
Yeah. I think we still have a little bit of time here. Someone requested more trombone.
Oh, of course you did.
Someone also said pipe.
Eric's face says it all. Thank you.
Mom is so proud.
You play Hotel California.
Yeah, the whole hotel though, including the pool and the jacuzzi and the gazebo, the buffet with those cool waffles that come out of the spray can.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Good place.
All right, guys. Thank you guys for coming on.
Love you guys.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Love you guys, man.
Keep it up.
Cheers.
Bye, guys. Thank you. I think I kicked them off. Yeah, they're gone. All right, Ficklewood guys. I'm gonna.
I'm just kidding.
There's 2 Ficklewoods. I'm promoting both of them.
2 Ficklewood people, or 2 Ficklewood.
One's a
there we
computer
go.
and one's a cell phone.
This is a home stretch, Dennis.
It is a home stretch.
14 beers in 2 days. Good Lord.
And I'm tired, and that's not because of the beers. It's because of having a 6-week-old and a.
You have 2 babies. Yeah. We're tired just because we're like old.
What's up, guys?
How's it going? It says I got promoted. I didn't even know that. Got promoted to something. When I logged in.
Promoted to the
Hi,
big
guys.
league.
What's up?
How are you?
Good, good. You guys enjoying that tropical elixir?
I'm about to pop it right now.
Well, we actually dropped off a keg of tropical elixir to Fourth Horseman. So we're out.
I know. It's going on as soon as my other one kicks. So yes, it will be on draft at the Fourth Horseman very soon.
And for the record, Duchess does not support craft cideries, so just there's really no reason to even go to Duchess.
Don't go to Duchess Brewhouse.
No.
I've heard some things.
Tell us your story. You're the first production cidery in the city of Long Beach. You guys make ass-kicking ciders. Mike's yours. Go nuts.
And this is my lovely wife Molly, and Joe and I are and his lovely wife Emily are not here right now, but we're next door neighbors. We started making cider in my garage, so we actually have a ladder between our backyards where we kind of go whoop, whoop. And in the middle of the night we would make devious plans to make delicious ciders. I'm diabetic, so that's why all of our ciders are dry, like 0 to no, maybe 1 gram of residual sugar comes from the juice. And Joe has celiac, so all gluten free. And yeah, we actually just started doing our nutrition facts. We're finding we're about like 150 calories per 12 ounce, 0 carbs, no sugar. So it's the healthy beverage. So we opened at the end of January. So from my little garage to downtown, we're right next to Roscoe's. For a lot of people probably don't know who we are or where we are. End of January, closed March 15th. It was a really good run. And so now we have our patio open, and we have like a little speakeasy outdoor area as well. All of the cider is made in these 4 tanks behind us. So each one of those are 20-barrel white wine tanks. We actually took the opportunity to double our capacity while we were shut down and poured new concrete and put 4 more tanks in. So now we have 160 barrel capacity, I guess, and ramping up our distribution efforts like locally around town. So now you start seeing us pop up at places like Fourth Horseman. We're actually, Simon's doing some awesome cocktails over at Portuguese Bend. We're in Hops and Vines and Corked on Stearns, Sevilla, The Ordinary. So kind of showing up everywhere. The cider we selected was our original because we figured, a lot of people haven't got a chance to taste us yet since it was a month and a half of being open. We've been doing delivery and pickup orders, but and after this, we're going to do a little tour in the cellar so I can show you how we make the cider and talk about where the juice comes from and all that. Our original cider is actually made from, we make 3 different ciders and blend them together to get the flavor profile. So the cider you guys have, we selected 3 different yeasts, fermented in 3 of those tanks, blended into the 4th one after fermentation. The one yeast kind of gives it that apple blossom aroma. So if you pour into and I was tasting Liberation's awesome IPA. If you pour into a tulip glass, that is the preferred glass for tasting, and let it warm up. So the cider is really good in that high 50s, low 60s range. Unfortunately, we get lumped with all these breweries, and they're all serving their beer much colder. And all the tap systems and of course fridges are coming out much colder. But cider's a wine, it's a white wine specifically. So as it warms up, it starts to breathe, the aromas come out, and you get kind of really beautiful bouquet. So on that original, you kind of get a sniffer. You do get that apple blossom aroma, and that comes from the one yeast that we selected. Then as you swish her around in your mouth, I won't do that since I'm talking, you get that perceived sweetness of the apple. And And that's really important to us. And you'll see in all of our ciders, a big thing we try to do is preserve the apple. Some of these ciders, over-the-counter ciders, are really sweet and they don't even really taste like they came from apple juice. So we're trying to buck that trend. And so that second yeast really celebrates the juiciness of the apple, but still is completely dry. And our third yeast, I call it the closer, gives us kind of that mineral water finish. So it's that real crisp finish. And so together we felt the three of those really gives us a full, complete flavor profile for a dry cider with no additions, preservatives, none of that stuff. Yeah.
What's amazing is your attention to detail. And I mean, I'm a cider guy. I lived in Austria, so like I've always grown up around ciders, and it's amazing because unfortunately the cider industry got a bad rap because everyone, back in the day of Widmer, Woodchuck, it was like liquefied, Jolly Ranchers, and that was not what cider is meant to be. And it's amazing when you actually, I mean, people don't realize the varietals of apples alone that exist. People just assume red, green apples. No. There's, and I mean, you guys are kicking ass.
Thank you.
And this is, I mean, literally, I mean, this is what 7.4, and you'd never guess. And that's why, people who I always say, like people, we always try to support one cidery at the bar at all times. Because a lot of people come in and as you said, like they might have celiac, whatever it may be, and but they remember cider being no offense to Sam Adams, but we know what's the Sam Adams not
Ace
cider, not Ace cider, but the other one Angry Orchard, right? I mean it is what it is, right? But like you have this, I mean it's like a fine wine. I mean it's amazing.
Yeah, thank you. And that was really important to us. So Joe and I are both engineers. I'm an industrial kind of manufacturing engineer. And Joe is he's got a few degrees. So electrical, aerospace, and systems engineering. So yeah, our attention to detail is obsessive, but that makes it fun. And we follow white wine making, German white wine making specifically protocols. So these tanks that we'll take a closer look at in a second, we had them custom designed and made in Germany, and they allow us to do some things that other cideries can't. We've entertained a few cideries here since we opened, and they were interested in some of the things we're doing that I know others aren't, and I can show you guys that too. Yeah, very much two engineering backgrounds, kind of geeking out and creating stuff we love. And excited to start sharing it now more and more. So.
Yeah. And
there's a couple questions that have come up that from people before you go on the tour, which I also want to say thank you because we were fortunate enough to be able to come to your friends and family and be able to get this tour, and it was awesome. And we're so happy for you guys. And then COVID happened, and we've all kind of been in this crazy thing. So we're happy that you guys are still like doing your thing and excited for the future for you and excited to be able to carry your ciders at the Fourth Horseman. So we have two questions. Any plans for a spicy cider, and what variety of apples do you most commonly use for the ciders?
Yeah, so the first question, spicy, I'm not sure if you're talking like heat spice or other spice, but I can answer both. So we're working on a fall release that we have a version of it now, real small batch. We call it Walk on the Peach. And that was kind of like an end of summer cider where we're fermenting with, we're fermenting our juice. We're steeping in peach, cinnamon, and cardamom. So it really has this nice spicy finish. And we're gonna warm that up a bit for the next round. And we'll be releasing that in the next couple months. And then on the spicy hot side, we've talked about doing some different stuff with peppers. Our cider maker, his name's Eric Wilms. He's awesome, hardest worker, best, really has a culinary background. He's got a few things in the works as well on that. We don't have any releases scheduled for that yet, but it'll be coming.
And then what are the variety of apples that you most commonly use?
Oh, yeah. So, funny thing with apples, my little background, my family actually owned apple orchard in upstate New York, and so it's always been kind of in my blood. And they had, like many orchards in the US, grew dessert apples, right? So your typical table apples. And after Prohibition, a lot of the traditional cider apple trees in the US were cut down. And excuse the noise, we're actually at Ficklewood and there's people speeding down the street. And those trees are still growing back throughout the US. So your typical cider apples, you maybe hear it referred to as a bittersweet, are not as easily available. So right now our blend is made from more of those dessert apples. We get our juice fresh pressed out of Apple Hill in California. They press it, chill it to like 34 degrees, no preservatives, nothing like that, and ship it down to us next day. And so we take that juice, pump it into our tanks, and kick off fermentation because the yeast preserves it, right? And once fermentation starts, it's kind of a safety zone for the juice, and the magic can begin. Now, once we, and that's for kind of our larger production stuff. Now, we're going to start doing some smaller production stuff within the next year that will incorporate blends of those bittersweet apples, and we're working on sources to get those. So, yeah.
And we had one more question before we do the tour. How many ciders do you have on tap right now, or at any given moment usually?
Yeah, right now we have 8, and we have 14 taps total. One of them is 9 feet up in the sky. We kind of show you that. That's our long pour, and that's we use for special ciders. We actually do a nitrogen push to reduce the CO2 and get the bubbly effervescence from gravity and falling into your glass. And that's kind of a tribute to Spanish style ciders. So back in the day, Spain wasn't allowed to carbonate their wine. And they do that still for some show right today. And they just pour up high to really get that carbonation and effervescence. So that tap's always reserved for special stuff. And then we have 13 other taps. So right now we have 8, and I think that'll keep growing.
Nice.
Yeah, all 4 of the tanks behind me are full right now. So that's 20 times 4. What was that? 80 barrels of cider that's already completed fermentation. And over the next few weeks, we're going to start filtering and flavoring. So once that comes out, we'll probably kick out another 5 or 6 flavors just from that.
Nice.
Okay, one more. Any wild or sour ciders?
We have not experienced in large batch with wild or sour. Some of the yeasts we're selecting give like more of a sour profile. So we have a Saison, one that we made with Saison yeast right now. Did a tincture with fennel, grapefruit, and thyme. Kind of gives you a funky, started getting the sour realm. But with none of our ciders being sweet, you could say a lot of them kind of trend towards that realm. Recently when I'm drinking a lot of cider, I'll admit it. That maybe has to do with COVID, or maybe it's just me, but when I do drink beer, I do grab a sour pretty frequently, because I feel like a sour is one of the closest things to cider in beer form. So, but yeah, in the future, I'm sure we're going to start looking into more of those as well. Any other questions?
They're popping up, but if you want to do the tour, if you want to just walk us through,
absolutely.
While we enjoy. I mean, I wish we had more cans of this. Damn it! Like,
we do have the 4th horse.
We did a 10,000 can run 2 months ago, so we still have 9,500. No, we still have quite a bit.
It's damn good.
We have a couple cases of the 4th Horseman if anyone needs to go buy them.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you guys picked up a case of original, right?
Yeah, and a keg, and so yeah, as soon as our other one goes, so it will be on draft and in cans.
Or go straight to the source and actually just hang out with you and drink everything right off the tap.
Right, might as well. Cool. Well, let me. My wife has a camera. I think she's already over. Oh, look at that! I'm gonna run over there. Okay. So this is our winery, and I'm sure everyone on the call knows, because you guys are professional drinkers, that cider is wine, but a lot of our guests actually don't realize that. And so we kind of go through some of the differences between a brewery and a winery. We don't have to deal with that kettle like a lot of the breweries do. So that's one benefit. But so those German white wine tanks I was talking about, that's these. I can kind of pan over here. And these are 20 barrel fermenters, full and sweating beautifully right now. And like I was explaining, this is, we call it yeast 1, yeast 2, yeast 3, and we haven't announced this yet, but why not? We're actually doing a 4th yeast in that 4th fermenter, and we'll be blending those together to get our next batch base of the original. So it's going to be really unique. We've already had grand trials, and it's beautiful. So one of the unique things about these tanks, of course, it's a flat bottom. So opposed to a brewery where you got the cone-shaped bottom, it's very important with wine that you have more surface area on your when you're fermenting, and that helps all the volatiles escape. So one of our challenges is sulfur. So even if you pick up like a can of, I won't say I guess any brands, but if you pick up a can of cider at the store, some like larger brand, crack it open, sniff it real quick, and see if you can. And we have a few different things that we do here that a lot of other cideries don't to avoid that from happening. I can't tell you all of it, but I can tell you some of it. And one thing is the custom designed port on our tanks, which is right here. And so this is a 2-inch tri-clamp fitting, and we use an agitator to stir the cider. And the reason for that is by stirring up the cider, it releases throughout fermentation. It's a daily deal. We've got this huge Italian-made stirrer that we stick in, and so by spinning for like 5 minutes every day, it's releasing a lot of those sulfur compounds, any of the volatiles like from fermentation. Really gives us more of that clear, crisp flavor that you're experiencing in the original. There's a few other tricks in the trade as well that we do to do that, and some other tweaks with the tank, but that's kind of one of the biggest things. Then on this side of the cellar, we have our bright tanks, just your standard beer bright tanks where we do carbonation, and then we've got 2 smaller 5-barrel fermenters that we do some of the smaller batches and trials. Normal stuff over there, keg washer, and all the fun stuff. 2 hot water heaters. We'd like to over-engineer so we can hit 180 degrees and sterilize anything, even ourselves, but not with 180 degrees. Yeah. So any questions on the cellar while we're here? One thing I could say is that another thing that kind of makes us unique is we filter down to 0.45 micron with all of our ciders. There's some unfiltered stuff we do here in the tap room, but anything we ship out goes down to 0.45 micron. And the way we process our shelf stability is like 2 to 3 years. And because it is a wine, it gets better with age. So we've been fortunate enough to blow through a lot of our product. And so we're not able to age it as long as we want. And one of the reasons we added capacity is so we can start putting some kegs away and aging for a couple of years and re-releasing. Because even the stuff that we started in January, and Weisswein is on tap, which is a real good example, is it's a blend with 9% Cabernet Sauvignon. And it is aged beautifully and completely changed from release date. So if you were here on our opening day and you came back now to have the Weisswein, you'd be like, whoa, it's a different product, which is really awesome. Yeah, so you can see this is a mess over here, but I'll show you guys the business. So there's 4 other tanks back there. Those are pretty much ready to go. We got to plumb up our glycol and things like that. You can see our lenticular filter, which is what we use for filtering kegs and such. But yeah. I feel like I'm talking really fast. Any questions?
No.
Let's give this one. All right, well, with that, we will go back to the other camera.
Hello, Dennis. Hello.
Hello.
Hey.
Hey, Dennis, you there? Everybody there?
We're all here. We hear you. You're good.
Hey, so I had a couple quick questions. So we'll end with the the game plan for the rest of the year. Want to ask you what your favorite horror movie is, but also, building a,
For some reason we can't hear you guys. Oh, there we go. It just kicked in.
You good?
Yeah, sorry. So if anybody had any questions while we were over in the cellar, I don't know, we couldn't hear, but
all good. No, we had a couple wrap-up questions. Definitely want to ask you what your favorite horror movie is, but also, building a production, brewery, cidery, winery, anywhere is a pain in the ass, especially in Los Angeles. There's no other way to put it, right? What was, how long from, conception to actually building the facility? Just, give us kind of a whirlwind tour of that. And then, if you tell us about what you have coming up in terms of cider releases, and then ended with a horror movie of your liking.
Nice. All right. Yeah, it was quite a journey. We actually had another place selected, and it was over over by like Di Piazza in that area. And we walked in here and we said, screw that other place, we're moving in here. Just immediately, and tore up what we were doing over there. The significance is that this building was built in the 1930s as a DMV, and you can still see like the board form concrete on the walls, like the wood grain on the wall. And so we kind of fell in love with this place. That being said, yes, it's in downtown Long Beach, and there was a lot of regulations and things to get through. But to be completely honest, the city was pretty supportive. Like and I'm not making that up, even though it may sound like it. Like any challenges we hit, we did our research. We studied the ridiculous amounts of guides and things like that. Joe's awesome researcher, and in some cases we're meeting with the city, kind of showing them what the guideline says and kind of steering us towards where we wanted to go. Liberation also helped a lot in that regard, because they really put a lot of the footwork in to kind of get a good process for opening a brewery or winery in Long Beach. So always kudos to those guys for doing that. And, some of the, I think you were saying, like, what were some of the struggles and things? They wanted to limit our capacity based on, not that they wanted to, but some of the regular kind of showed that we could only have 25 people in here or something. So, that took a lot of work between myself, the fire department, city planning, and building to come up with the right occupancy codes and things. So now we have a capacity of 100. So that'll help us out great, especially in COVID, if they start opening up and we can open at 25%. 25 people in here starts to feel pretty good. So, it was a long road to get through some of that stuff, and I think it was worth it. A lot of fun.
Well worth it.
Yeah.
And so yeah, what's
the other
your favorite
questions?
horror movie? What's your favorite?
Favorite horror movie? Well, I always have to say my favorite movie first, because and that's 1989 Batman.
Yeah.
100%. Michael Keaton all the way.
Michael Keaton.
Come on, right?
Yeah, come on.
Favorite horror movie. So my wife doesn't really like horror movies, so I haven't had a chance to watch it. I kind of blame her. I think the last one I watched though was the new release of Halloween.
Okay.
And actually, Joe's brother-in-law directed that, so that was one of the reasons we were watching it. And that was a lot of fun. We really enjoyed that. So.
We love that movie. We're big fans of the new one, so we're advocates of the new one. Yeah.
Awesome.
And then just real quick, I know we're running a little late, but any upcoming releases you want to share with everybody? And your hours and just
how do people come visit you? Yeah, what's with COVID restrictions?
Yes. Okay. So new releases coming. We've got when this batch gets completed, we're lining up what we're going to be doing. What are we doing? A pineapple hibiscus, which we've done a lot of trials with and is amazing. That fall flavor release, which will be similar to the peach that we have on tap, but a little bit more warm, if you will. And so I'll say on that one. And we're gonna bring back more bramble bark because the city's drinking us out of it. And we're getting a lot of requests, and bars are starting to want it on tap. And we've only got like 3 sixtels and I think a keg and a half left here. So, and gosh, what else do we talk about? I don't know. We'll do some releases and stuff on Instagram though when that comes, and that'll be coming probably close to Thanksgiving timing when we release our next batches. And the other question, so the protocols we have in place, we're following all the standard stuff: mask, face shield, everything's 6 feet apart. We have a patio that we can fit, I don't know, maybe depending on party sizes, right? But it's maybe 20 people on the patio. And then we have a little speakeasy on the side as well, where if you've been here before, we used to do kind of cornhole in the alley. That sounds good. But now we've got three wine barrels set up, and there's 3 parties that can sit out there too. So we are applying for open streets and hoping to get that done in the next couple weeks. And then we're gonna, even though I know parking's limited, we are gonna take 3 parking spots away from right in front of us.
People should ride bikes.
And yeah, exactly. And most of our clients, if you ask like our customers and stuff, they're all walking. There's so many apartment buildings around here. So yeah, that's definitely been a great support from the local community.
We have 3 spots at our place. We took over 3 places. No one's complained other than like some customers that like literally were never that like weren't like really local, but for us it's been a lifesaver. So I think like the majority of people, especially in your situation, are going to be the same, where they're not people who are driving there, they're locals who are going there, and they're happy that they can sit outside rather than the people who are driving from lots. I don't know. Hopefully, and fingers crossed for all of us with these parklets, because I'm thankful for them. I think the city's been really good with giving them to us. I know that some other cities have found out that they have to pay for them.
That's
like
true.
in LA, there's been some other cities where they've dropped off these parklets, and then the businesses have to pay for the lost revenue of the parking meters. So we're lucky.
Yeah.
in that sense. We're gonna make sure we aren't missing any questions.
What's people want to pick up merch? Should they go to your Instagram, your website? I mean, go to your tap room. I mean, shit, enjoy it. Buy, drink cider, buy merch, right?
Yeah, definitely come here and pick it up. You can go to ficklewood.com and order anything we have, and you can get it delivered by DoorDash, or you can come and pick it up, whatever you prefer. We're covering the delivery fee, so it's free either way. So whatever's most
I'm going to
convenient.
introduce you guys to our delivery drivers too. Just
Cool. Okay.
And then real quick, 2 quick questions. How are the fires affecting your cidery in terms of sourcing apples? And then last but not least, what is the average time to make your cider versus a beer?
Right. So we haven't had any impact from the fires, but we did, our last order was right before. And I haven't checked with our supplier, but I think they're okay. And the other question, it takes us at least like 3 months, and that's with minimal like aging time. So you start to see a lot of the ciders peak around, well, not peak, but really start to blossom and change around 9 months. And then, and from there, it's just like an evolution. It's really cool. It's like watching a kid grow up. And maybe that's being dramatic, but no, it's, yeah, it's awesome. Like, I would always encourage somebody, if you buy buy Ficklewood Original, throw it in the back of a fridge somewhere, put a date on it, and open it next year. And,
absolutely,
you'll see what I'm talking about. So.
Hey, you guys are awesome. Dennis, I know you have any,
real quick, the poll questions. Number one was, what does the ladder mean? Ladder hanging from the ceiling at Ficklewood represent?
Yeah, so we have, as you're going to the restrooms, there's a ladder from the 1950s, we believe. hanging up, and it was actually reclaimed from a Long Beach fire truck. But the significance of it is one thing I alluded to earlier is the ladder between our yards that we would, sneak over in the middle of the night and make cider in my garage. Joe would climb over the ladder and we'd start sciencing away. So.
And I think you already answered this one, but what is one reason Ficklewood chose to make dry, gluten-free ciders?
Yeah, and that's one reason of many is the fact that that's a common beverage Joe and I enjoy. So Joe is celiac, I'm diabetic, so they're always low sugar, gluten-free.
Cool.
Awesome.
Appreciate you guys for coming on.
Thank you guys. You're awesome. You guys.
Congrats,
Thanks
guys.
for everything.
Congrats. Appreciate it.
All right. Cheers, guys.
All right, Christo, if you can unmute and turn on your camera, please.
Here I am.
He's back.
Yes. How you doing, man?
Good. How are you?
Good.
So you got another clip for us.
I have another clip for us. So I suppose a lot of you probably heard my spiel yesterday about how the film got started and all that. But for those of you who didn't, really quickly, I made a film called Brewmance about homebrewing craft beer. Features a lot of the people here in Long Beach. Spent a couple of years following the boys and family from 10 Mile and then the boys from Liberation. Kind of as they went from home brewer to craft brewer. And then in between, I flew around the country and talked to a bunch of people that you probably all know about, famous guys. So the clip we saw yesterday was 10 Mile. The clip we're going to show today is Liberation. Yeah, let's just roll the clip, I suppose. Or I can keep talking. Dennis, are we rolling the clip here, dude?
Christo, you're gonna roll the clip from your side.
Yeah, don't you have to promote me?
You are.
Yeah.
You can share your screen.
Oh. Share the screen. Got it. Oh, sorry, dude. We did this yesterday.
Yeah.
Not very good for a film guy here.
I remember my first time too.
Host disabled attendee screen sharing.
You sure?
Well, let's see. Yeah, it says host disabled attendee screen sharing. Enable me. Validate me.
It says allow panel. All right, hold on. Give me 1 second. That's probably my bad. You're good. You're good. Go for it.
There we go. Okay. I think this is the one. One moment. And we're off.
So this is a 1964 King 2B trombone, considered one of the better vintage jazz horns you can get. And I beat the shit out of it like a monster in a ska band. There's still a real big fish in there somewhere. These are some of my first home brews. October 2009. I'd come back from England and there's these sort of tea cakes called Jaffa cakes, which are like orange jelly and dark chocolate on like a little cookie thing. And I was like, well, what if that was a beer, man? So I made a chocolate stout and I put orange in it, orange peel, and because I couldn't leave it well enough alone, I added, ginger. That's what that last word is. I added coriander and ginger. Didn't need it.
Well, Danny was touring the world and being a rock star and drinking all the beer that I wanted to drink. I was staying at home, working in a cubicle and brewing every weekend.
I would go on tour and I'd come back 3 months later and he would have brewed like 20 beers. And I pull mine out of I'm like, oh, no, that didn't turn out so well. It sat around for 3 months and it's terrible. Okay, so you be the brewer, I'll be the guy that does everything else, Quickly learned that was way too much for me. So I talked to my buddy Michael, who's always had a head for figures.
My goal is to just keep things running smoothly in the background. So databases, finances, all the stuff kind of behind the scenes. Eric, obviously, Eric's tasks are pretty straightforward. Brew beer. Danny is the face. That's Danny, face man.
I like beer because it is good. I drink beer because I should.
So Michael and I have known each other a long time, and we've been best friends a long time.
I've known Danny since the 7th grade.
Mike and I had a punk band in high school called Flabbergasm, and we didn't wear pants.
Beer is good. Beer is good. Beer is good.
Flabbergasm, best band of all time.
So we had tidy whities and glitter motorcycle helmets. We'd go to Del Taco on the way to the gig, and we'd each get a macho combo burrito and stuff it in the front of the underwear so that while we'd play, like meat and sour cream would run down our legs. Yeah. That didn't catch on with other bands.
That's awesome.
I don't know why it didn't catch on, Danny. So I just should tell you that we had all this whole plan to bring the film out, and we were going to bring it out with the Brewers Alliance and the Home Brewers Association, blah blah blah, and then COVID hit, and but we do have plans to bring it out next year, 2021. Where? I don't know, but we're trying to figure that out. And but anybody who's interested can go to brewmancemovie.com, sign up on our mailing list. We'll keep you in the loop, and you can buy shirts and pins, hats and stuff. You can also find clips on Instagram and our Facebook account, Brewmance Movie. But Dennis, I want to say that nobody has mentioned The Exorcist.
This is your chance.
Thank you.
Exorcist. The scariest movie ever.
That was pretty scary. I was a little kid when I watched that one, and it was.
There's a few movies that no one's mentioned that are pretty scary.
By the way, will you be releasing the movie on any physical format like DVD, Blu-ray, and or VHS?
VHS. Well, there's a market for it. Yes.
There is
Yeah.
a bit more when you talk to Martin.
I'm obsessed with VHS. Let me just,
We're
I'm one of
sitting in
those
a room
assholes. But
surrounded by VHS right now, but he's afraid that people are going to get jealous and rob us or something from his.
You, Martin, I will release an SVHS.
oh, perfect. Thank you. Thank you. I will, the one-of-one copy signed by the filmmaker. I will buy it. Put me down.
Nobody's mentioned The Shining either.
No, someone mentioned The Shining.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, Lori from Smog City mentioned, I think she mentioned that.
That's why I love her.
What is your favorite horror movie?
Well, yeah, The Exorcist, The Shining, and they're right up there. It's those like The Omen. I don't know, maybe I'm dating myself.
I feel like a lot of people are just are afraid of talking about new movies, which I am too, but I'm like, it scared the shit out of me.
There's
a lot of it's in that.
Jesus.
With Tim Curry.
The Tim Curry yeah. The original It.
And I know Dennis has some questions, but how did you get your start in filmmaking? By the way, I don't think we never really touched on that yesterday. So just quick, like, hey, how you got into it? The movie looks great from the clips we've seen. What's your background?
So I originally trained as an actor back in college. I thought I was gonna like knock the world dead, and then I don't know. I remember in college, one of my teachers was like, so watch this movie and give us a critique of the actors. And then I started saying how it was directed and how awesome, and I realized, oh, I don't really want to be an actor and be told what to do all the time. So then I bummed around San Francisco as a bartender and a PA. And then I went to film school down here in sunny Southern California, USC. And then, I didn't really want to make documentaries. I was like, no. I'm going to make real films. And then, but the thing is, they're so dang interesting. And one of the great things about doing this is like, you get to get into a subject that you know nothing about or very little about, and then learn about the world. And so the last film I made was about a couple of Olympic swimmers, and I learned all about swimming, Olympic competition and stuff. But with this film, I was moving down here because my wife teaches in Huntington Beach. And I'm like, and I have a young kid. So I was like, what can I make that's interesting and they don't have to travel a lot? And then I was like, wait a second. And like, I don't know, but like 4 or 5 years ago, there wasn't a lot of craft beer here in Long Beach. And you guys and everybody else has kind of like bloomed in the last 4 years. But, in 2016, there's BCC and there's Beechwood and there's Timeless Pints who just opened up, but there wasn't a lot of what's going on now. So I was like, whoa, this could be the perfect time to watch this happen. And then in the course of making this film, like all these great breweries are now in Long Beach. And there's like this great little world. It's pretty cool.
And there's several questions that have popped up. When will the movie be available? Video on demand? I know it's kind of it's a heavy, it's a tough question to answer sometimes. But like, what people want to see it. Where can they see it? Or soon? Or
this is also a very good question because I had this whole idea. So what I do is like I produce my own films. And then I try to distribute it myself, which is I did with the last film. So we went to theaters and we had a bunch of like screenings around the country. And then we were on Oprah, the OWN network. And then we went to iTunes and blah, blah. We had this whole kind of rollout. We had home video on VHS and stuff. But man, COVID has changed everything. It's like nobody's going to a theater anymore. You know what I mean? It's like, and I don't know when people will go back to theaters. So one of the ideas is virtual screenings where like, it's like you're in a movie theater, except you're at home. I'm like, no, that's going to work. But so that's why I say, if you just sign up on the mailing list, I'll let you know what's going on. I just signed with this distributor out in New York. I'm very excited about, and hopefully these guys can bring us, I don't know, they're like Netflix, Hulu, HBO, Showtime. I don't know, someplace. It's kind of like, for an independent producer like me, it's hard to make your money back in these films. Like they cost a lot to make. They took a really long time to make, and the economics suck. It's a terrible business model. It's a little bit like, I was thinking about this yesterday. It's a little bit like opening a craft brewery. I'm like, it's like multiple years, you work really hard, you have these lean years, and you kind of get going. Well, what I do is I keep doing this over and over like an idiot.
Yeah. Hopefully we get to the point where we could see your movie at the Art Theater in Long Beach. I know you were supposed to have a screening there. That's what should be seen with beer, friends, us hooting and hollering, familiar faces, new faces. That's where we, hopefully
we're still going to have that. We're still going to have that.
We're going to get to it. We're going to get to it.
Yeah, because this is a film that you want to see with other people, and you want to drink beer while you're watching it. But I still have my deposit, so I still have a spot there somewhere. But I think before then, yeah, I'll probably have a virtual screening. Maybe Dennis and I can work on something and bring it to you guys. Because, I mean, I really want you guys to see it because it's kind of about you guys. I mean, hopefully it's also about the bigger subject of craft beer and stuff. But
it needs to be seen.
It needs to be seen, damn it! Yeah.
Well, thanks. Dennis?
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, bud. Thank you.
Thank you, Cristo. I think we're good on that. Appreciate you for coming on and showing us the clips. So thank you so much.
Thanks, Dennis.
See you, Cristo.
See you, bud.
All right. I mean, actually, to finish this off, beer-wise, Levi actually couldn't be with us today because of a Jewish holiday that he forgot about. But he did record a video for you guys, and I'm going to share it with you right now.
Hey, how's it going? Welcome to Long Beach Beer Lab. My name is Dr.
Actually, can you guys hear it?
I am one of the founders and brewers here at the
Ryan
Long
Martin,
Beach Beer Lab.
can you guys hear the video?
And I got a nice little IPA here in the glass, so I'm ready.
I muted us.
It's a little low.
Okay, hold on. Let me start it over.
Really low. Yeah, I can barely hear it. Oh.
I'm going to start it over. What are you guys doing over there?
Oh, it's mad. I mean, we're on the 10% beer now, and we're actually excited. We love Ladies beers, and I missed Ryan's glass completely, by the way.
Poured it
So
all over me.
yeah.
All right, I'm going to try again.
It smells really good, though, lady. Oh my.
I just
Try this again. Let me know if you guys can hear this.
Hey, how's it going?
A little better.
Welcome to Long Beach Beer Lab.
That's as loud as I could go.
Dr. Levi Fried.
Needs to go louder.
One of the founders and brewers here at the Long Beach Beer Lab. And care of and be part of this amazing craft beer LB virtual festival. As you know, I've made it to most of the past iterations, but unfortunate for this one, it'll only have to be a recording. That's really tasty. I wanted to also start off by saying that what we do here is experimental beers, and we're so happy and thankful to all of you guys who have come by and showed us love during this crazy time and fueled experimental beers here in Long Beach. And it just allows us to get a little bit crazier and a little bit more creative with how we run our program here, how we evolve, and how we change. And that's super nice for me, because with my background in experimentation and research, it's really nice to be able to go ahead and make beers that push the envelope, so to speak, of flavor and fermentation, both academically and artisanally. And that was our big goal in starting the Long Beach Beer Lab. My wife Harmony, who runs a lot of the front of house and tap and bakery side of the business, and ultimately the bread lab and the coffee shop and the spirits lab and those future endeavors that we get into, also was looking for a way to create an environment in which experimentation and small batch baking would find a home here in Long Beach, and I believe that we have figured that out. That leads me to speak a little bit about the beer before you from us, an offering of a hazy triple, 9.9%, and it's particularly dry hopped with Southern Cross and Waimea with a touch of Citra. And what I like about this beer is it is straight fruit in a can. You get huge citrus, pineapple, papaya, mango kind of aromatics and flavors with a nice soft and gentle, soft body and gentle bitterness. I'm very happy about this beer. You don't get that booze that you do with a lot of the triple IPAs, but you do get a nice pack of punch. Feel it when you stand up. So I was very happy about that. It is a little bit tricky. Really like this beer. This is the new stem pack that we have on. Other than that, I would have to say that we're pushing a lot more IPAs out into cans now. We just got some more canning equipment coming in, and I hope that we could push out more of our favorite beers and some of your favorite beers that we do out a little bit further. Yeah. Gotta drink a little bit more. So we started about 3 years ago. We just celebrated our 3rd year anniversary. I feel like we're really in our stride here. We put a patio outside, and we've done some really great things with our concept here and our to-go, and also our restrictions and limitations on how we bring people into the beer lab. We also started serving coffee at 7 in the morning, which kind of feeds into that brewing lifestyle with brewed coffee as well. As far as the beers are concerned, it's all experimental. So we do a lot of stuff with Kvike, we do a lot of stuff with traditional ales, and we do a lot of stuff with lagers. And what I think most people know us for is some of our sours, but I know that that there's a little something for everybody. And just recently started with a mixed cocktail, all fruit program headed by our taproom manager, and she is really knocking it out of the park. So when you come to the beer lab, you definitely have something for everybody. A wholesome overall experience with great beers, breads, pizzas, drinks, sodas even for the kids. So definitely a group experience for everybody. So with that, raise a glass, say cheers, and hope to see you guys this year.
Hello, Dennis.
Hi.
Hello.
So that's everybody.
Where's the fireworks? Where's the finale? Like
That was you guys.
That was us?
I can set myself on fire and run around if you want.
No, we're in our house.
Dennis, like yes.
Yes, perfect.
No, we don't. Yeah. So.
No, that was
Martin just keeps disappearing out of the.
Yeah, sorry. But this beer is tasty, and we've been watching some of the comments, and Levy and his missus, the crew, amazing. I mean, the beer is amazing. The bread is amazing. If you've never been there, like make sure you go there. Their pizza's tasty.
Rosemary garlic bread is like.
I mean, they are. I mean, they're just good people. And the beer's top notch. And once again, if you haven't been, make sure, people should go and support them. Family business. But like I said, some of the best baked goods, and not only Long Beach, but in LA. So and I've disappeared. I'm a ghost now. There we go.
Kathy wants to see my hedgehog.
Yeah. Oh, I thought Martin was the hedgehog. No.
I saw that too. I was like, wait a minute, this is a PG rated show, and but
oh, he's sleeping.
Well, they're also illegal.
We have no hedgehog. Nothing to see here.
Hedgehog.
Nothing to see here.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you guys for coming on and helping me out with this. It made it a lot easier on me to have you guys on with me. So I appreciate you guys for coming on. A few people have actually sent me messages already saying that they would like to pick up stuff that they ordered at the Fourth Horseman. So we're going to make that happen.
Nice,
yeah,
nice.
Yeah, we can. We'll give a discount code, and we can you and we can all converse and figure out a way to do it. But yeah.
And bring that Duchess shirt. Remember, bring the Duchess shirt. You'll get a new Fourth Horseman shirt. Just give it to us. It doesn't matter. You know, if it's just just a ratty, or you're gonna get a brand new shirt. You know, quality. You know, upgrade. I mean, that's what we're here for.
Thanks, guys. One last thing, if anyone, I still have just a couple of event shirts left. Has brewery logos on the back. It has the festival logo on the front. I only have a few left. And then again, any of the hats are for sale right now for $20. That includes shipping.
Or to drop off at the Fourth Horseman.
Or to pick up at the Fourth Horseman, either one. I'm going to be going there already anyway. So if you would like to pick up there and pick up some pizza and some beer.
It says Jason is there right now. So if you guys want to go hang out with Jason.
Jason is Baracho at Liberation right now, in case anybody wants to go to. But no, all jokes aside, Dennis, thank you. And thank you everybody who, who helped support this, signed on, all the breweries. But, it's, the breweries, we make the beer, but it's about the people, fans buying the beer. So it's pretty awesome. Oh my goodness. What is that? Oh, here we go. Here we go. This is like the bonus round. This is the,
This is the final round right here.
Oh, here we go.
There we go. Oh, there we go.
Hey, you know what, guys? Shut the hell up. No Fourth Horsemen here.
Oh,
right, hey, seriously, we love you, fucktards. And you are tart. Dennis, you're the best. Liberation. Give it. He says no.
Denied.
I still say this.
Oh my God. Hey, Eric, call security. Call security. Oh my goodness. Love you guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Dennis, thank you again, buddy.
Dennis, we love you. I think what you're doing for the community is so great, and it's just nice to have everybody be together. And even though we can't be together, one day we'll all be together again. But everybody's together, and we can still mess with each other and have a good time.
I'm looking forward to the events that we were supposed to do together. So
yeah,
those will be coming soon enough. But so look out for that, everybody. We'll be doing a lot of stuff once we're allowed to do stuff again. We have some stuff planned for you. We would much rather see you guys in person than do this virtually. So thank you, everybody. Thank you, Ryan and Martin. Thank you to all the breweries. Thank you, everybody, for participating. We love you all.
Thank you, Dennis.
Love you guys.
Cheers, guys.
Bye, guys. Thank you.